8. Of course, the 4 NFC title games, the 2 Super Bowl appearances. This is year number 9. So he's number 3 all-time in those playoff wins. And the aforementioned Jim Harbaugh on the other sideline is number 4 all-time in 49ers history in playoff wins. Packed a lot into 4 years,
yeah.
Tim.
And I don't know how much whispering he'll have to do to Justin Herbert, their starter, when the regular season gets here. He's pretty darn good, and we know what Jim Harbaugh likes to do. Heavy sets, tight ends, absolutely pound the rock. They got better at running back, and they certainly got some better weapons for Herbert. I think if you're Kyle Shanahan, you want to run the ball 35, 40 times. We all know that he wants to run it always 30-plus times when football gets real, but run it 40 times in this game. Get out of here in a little under 3 hours if you can, and hopefully no injuries, guy. That's always the biggest thing. There's been so many guys that have missed valuable practice time in training camp. Now they're all scheduled to either return or they have returned to practice and be ready for the opener at Seattle. But biggest ambition, no significant injuries in this game to some of your frontline players.
Chargers won the toss, took the ball. This is the 4th preseason game for the Chargers, who played the Hall of Fame game to open up the NFL preseason. On what is a windy night. It's 73 degrees. It feels great, but it's a windy night tonight down on the playing surface, and Jake Moody will send this away, and the Chargers will start with a return from Kamani Vidal, and he gets hit not by Saran Neal. A flag is down. Darrell Luter there as well. No surprise to see 33 in on that
absolute
tackle.
Specialist. I think Robert Beal got tackled as he was trying to cover that kick.
So as we wait for Land Clark's announcement, there you see Trey Lance, the former first-rounder, 3rd overall in 2021. Last year with Dallas after the 49ers traded him there for a 4th-rounder, and now free agent signee with the Chargers.
Return, holding, receiving team number 50, 10-yard penalty, first down, Los Angeles.
So Justin Herbert, the starter, off tonight, and we'll get a series or 2 for the former 49er.
And look, he earned a starting job here, I believe in the 22 season, I think it was, and then came out against Seattle week 2 and snapped his ankle on a run up the middle. Just felt horrible for him. Buzzard's luck. Great human being. Hope he found himself a home with the LA Chargers.
Last regular season touchdown he threw was on this field to Deebo Samuel back January 2nd, 2022. That was his rookie year, and then, as you said, Tim, he started the next year as the starting quarterback, injured week 2, which paved the way for Garoppolo and then paved the way for Brock Purdy. So on the ground, the Chargers begin. Not many of their starters. Raheem Sanders, the rookie from South Carolina, the undrafted young man, gets the first carry of the night. You take a look at the Levi's starting lineups. Sam Okuwanu and Jordan Elliott making their first appearances.
A bit of a surprise Jordan Elliott is playing and starting this game. Now both of those guys have had some nicks in the preseason. Fired up to see Sam Okuwanu, the linebackers, both Graham and Surratt, all 3 of those guys, Surratt, both of those guys will be battling Curtis Robinson for a roster spot. And excited to watch a little bit of Renardo Green back there. Very good second-year corner, dealing with a hamstring injury. And then both safeties, again, whoever plays better, I think, in this game is going to end up being the starting safety opposite Jason Pinnock. That's how you clog it up and build a wall with your defensive line. Big Alfred Collins in there along with Jordan Elliott doing good work.
And so it brings up 3rd down and 3. Great to see Renardo Green. You mentioned 3 weeks with a hamstring for him. So a man slated to be a starting cornerback for the 49ers on opening day, getting some reps here in the final preseason game. 49ers are bringing pressure, and Trey Lance lets it fly as he gets hit and cannot connect with his intended receiver. That's Darius Davis. And so the Chargers go 3 and out, and Jordan Elliott's fired up.
Yeah, well, Robert Saleh loves calling blitzes. He's never been known as a big blitz caller. We could see more this year, but it gets guys one-on-one. Both linebackers come. That gets the defensive lineman a one-on-one opportunity, and big Jordan Elliott, as I call him, the freight train, made him pay for it with a tattoo shot on Trey Lance.
And so Sky Moore, who's been a 49er since Thursday, mid-practice, is back to take this punt. and fields it cleanly on a windy day and then gets clipped down after a short return. But we'll see more of him after a 50-yard boot from J.K. Scott tonight. That'll be one of the headliners tonight, watching Sky Moore.
Well, no doubt. And I mean, I'm having a tough time warming up to him since he's a Kansas City Chief for the last few years, but happy to have him, and he is going to certainly add to the receiver room. And as a punt returner, Carter Bradley got so much better last week against the Raiders, and I think we're going to see tonight him play a quarter, Mordecai play a quarter, and rotate like that. But it's going to be great preparation for this offense because this is Seattle's defense. It's really a lot of the same concepts. I want to see Carter Bradley just get the ball out of his hand and operate this offense.
Well, one of the headlines tonight is the guy that carried the ball there on the first down play, the Levi starting lineups for the offense. Jeff Wilson in it, but it's Isaac Guerrero that gets the first carry today, along with Demarcus Robinson. Robbie Chosen out there as well. Burford, the two rookie guards, Colby and Moss. Hennessy, the backup center, gets the start, and Austin Pleasance at right tackle. And back to Isaac Guerrero. And it's going to be third down coming up. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. But Guerrero missed some time with a shoulder injury. Good to see him back this week in practice.
Yeah, no doubt. And 5 yards of carry last year. I remember it like yesterday up in Seattle when Jordan Mason got hurt and Guerrero came in the game and ran with a purpose. And I know it fired up the head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and from then he just took off. The whole thing, I think, with Isaac Guerrero here is he is still a young player, is get those pads down when you're going into that traffic in the middle of the field, so you don't get waxed.
Sky Moore is in on offense, and he is lined up at the bottom of the screen as the Chargers show some pressure and bring it. And Bradley gets it out to Moore, but that is broken up. Nico Reed, the rookie from University of Oregon, and both teams exchanged 3 and outs to start the night.
Yeah, and Bradley, the pressure's coming. Guerrendo's able to pick up one of them, but not 2 of them. So you're going to get a free player coming in here on the wrap. And you'd love to see Garrett Bradley put that to where only the receiver can get it. And again, I know on the grease board, it's throw it to the inside. He's on that in cut. Where that defender is, you'd love for him to be able to put it into the outside arm so that Sky Moore would have a chance to corral it.
Thomas Morstead took a great photo he posted on his Instagram last week after the game against the Raiders. Him and the quarterbacks all putting up a 0 with their hands for 0 punts for Morstead in Vegas last week. He's happy to have the night off of sorts, although he held plenty for Jake Moody. A good punt here. Carter Bradley went limping off. Hopefully he's okay. He and Tanner Mordecai will be the 49ers quarterbacks tonight. 43-yard boot for Morstead.
For everybody, excited for Fred. And tell you, with the roster purge in the offseason, and Kyle Shanahan had to do it. We knew it was coming in terms of how some of those contracts looked and some of the players that had to be allowed to get out the door. To be able to get Fred Warner signed up long-term, to be able to get George Kittle signed up long-term, and Brock Purdy with that big contract. Job well done by the front office.
A little more free time tonight for Kyle. He's not calling plays for the 3rd preseason game in a row. Clay Kubiak has that honor. There's George Kittle. Speaking of guys that, I mean, he and Warner in practice are just, if you're going to have one, you need the other one.
Yeah, and George has found the fountain of youth. He is leaner than he's been, but is still the same weight, and his speed is high octane. He's as fast as I've ever seen him here in year number 9.
After the punt, Trey Lance rolling out on first down with Robert Beal right in his face, and Lance throws and delivers to Jalen Reagor, the former first-round pick back in 2020. 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and you're going to see him come across the formation, and that's tough now for Siegel, the young rookie, because his eyes are watching all the flow go one way, and then the keeper coming back the other against the grain. And that's a good play by Trey Lance with Robert Beal in his face, delivered a strike to Jalen Reagor.
Evan Anderson in the game, inside defensively for the 49ers, along with Alfred Collins. Good pocket for Lance, and that is complete again to Reagor. Renardo Green after a 6-yard gain, a 5-yard gain with the tackle. Renardo pick number 64 last year for the 49ers, played all 17 games as a rookie, started 7 of them, and really made an immediate impact for Kyle Shanahan's defense.
Yeah, that interception up at Seattle was huge early in the season. He really, I think, made the whole draft last year with how he was able to come in and just play sticky, tight coverage across the board.
Lance to throw out of the pistol pocket, collapsing, and that falls incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, you know, the other guy to help make that draft last year was Malik Mustafa, who of course is rehabbing from that late season ACL. Mustafa was the pick the Niners got from the Cowboys for Trey Lance, was the pick they used on Malik Mustafa.
Yeah, and can't wait for him to get back. He is going to be a perfect fit with Robert Saleh, and I think Saleh is going to end up, and I think having Renardo Green and Diamador out on the islands, being able to play man coverage and tight coverage, is going to allow Saleh to be able to blitz a little bit more, which is going to really open it up, I think, for Malik Mustafa.
Lance dancing, looking, and throws it short, incomplete, against a 4-man pressure from the 49ers, and the Chargers must punt again.
Nice job there, and he had all day to throw, so the pressure wasn't great. It's going to be taxing on those cover guys, and Dallas Flowers is back here, and he's on Lambert Smith, and Trey Lance just throws this one in the dirt. That was not a good throw from Trey Lance. And that rookie 5th-round pick out of Auburn's been pretty darn good this summer for the LA Chargers.
DeAndre Lambert Smith, who is slated to make this team. 2nd punt for J.K. Scott. Means 2nd opportunity for Sky Moore. Steps into the sun and takes it down at the 9-yard line, and there's just not much room there as he finally gets shoved out near the 20. A return of 8 after a punt that covered 50 yards. 2nd 50-yarder for J.K. Scott tonight. It was fun last week to see Ricky Pearsall get on the field in the preseason in Vegas. He had 3 catches on the 49ers opening drive. 2 of them were for 1st down.
Yeah, and that one right there, this was the first play of the game, just driving him off and running that hitch on Eric Stokes. But the first highlight that we saw was really a good illustration, Guy, of what Ricky Pearsall and his development has to be. And it's about tempo, it's about timing, it's about having chemistry with Brock Purdy, and to put the brakes on right there, to read the coverage, to give Brock, there's old Brock Star right there, and to break it off and to give a big spotlight for Brock. Job well done by Ricky.
Carter Bradley back out and throwing on the run. Luke Farrell could not hang on. And Bradley, who was limping on the first possession, you can see something's bothering him. Tanner Mordecai is the other quarterback dressed out tonight. No Brock Purdy, as you saw, in street clothes, getting the night off. Mac Jones, who's coming off that little just sprained knee last week, but he's going to be okay. So the Niners brought Tanner Mordecai back in this week, and hopefully Carter Bradley's okay. He's going to play a couple quarters.
It doesn't look great, and they've only got 2 quarterbacks suited up for this game.
Pressure picked up by Garendo. Demarcus Robinson is going to make this 2nd and short.
A good throw there, setting his feet. And as I said earlier, this is going to be really good preparation. Just going to run the out cut here. Just kind of round it off versus that off coverage, and good timing from Carter Bradley to put it on him to put up this 3rd and short. But this is going to be great preparation because, again, it's the Michigan defense from Mike McDonald. Jesse Minter, the D coordinator, runs a lot of the same stuff. So this will be something they're going to be looking at for the next few weeks.
Bradley, and that is off the arm of Sky Moore.
Well, you'd love to see him catch that. That was a rope.
Bradley's got a big arm on him. You wonder how many times has Sky Moore caught a pass from Carter Bradley. He arrived on Thursday in the middle of practice.
Good job in protection. Good job by Carter Bradley, just sitting in there and trusting his protection. Sky Moore, nice route. Gets a little bit of enough separation. Bradley puts that right down the seam, and Sky Moore can't hold on.
So Morstead's 2nd punt into the wind, as it feels like everything is tonight. Luke Grimm gets brought down quickly after a short return. And that's Darrell Luter Jr. I know you've got your eyes locked in on special teams tonight, Tim. Every play on special teams could affect who makes or doesn't make this roster. Looks like Trey Lance is coming back out again. We flash back to the first preseason game for Trey Lance. So much anticipation, and there were some big moments. There were some big smiles, including on this big touchdown connection to Danny Gray.
And that's one thing I'll tell you, and Trey Lance proved it right away. He's the number 3 overall pick out of North Dakota State, is he could throw dimes and drop them in the bucket on that deep ball, as he did in his first game as a 49er.
4 games last year for Dallas, made a start. 3rd series for him. It's been a punt fest so far, and Lance throws, and that is Reagor, complete for a first down, just as they started the last drive. But this is 17 yards, biggest play of the night.
Man, he can rip it now if he gets his feet set, and he's going to throw this in cut just inside of Chaz Surratt and puts it right on the money. And you can see when he sets his feet and lets it go, that ball has got some zip on it.
Nyheim Miller-Hines is in the game at running back. Gibson bearing down, hit the ball, and Nyheim Hines still makes the catch. Or at least Gibson hit Lance, and that's why the ball came out sideways. And it's, when it's all said and done, a 4-yard gain.
And I'll tell you what, Trevis Gibson, who has started 11 games in pro football, is doing all he can to earn a roster spot as he comes from the left defensive end and just comes around the corner and is able to hit Trey Lance, who, as you said, completed it anyway for a 3 or a 4-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7. And it is the running back Miller-Hines getting stood up by Siegel and gets hit forward for the first down. Marquis Siegel in that battle. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks with Jair Brown, both starting here tonight.
And let's see, you can see when Siegel hits you now, go pow, he is going to pop you. 2 high safeties, of course. On that down and distance, they're going to turn and hand it and have the edge up front and able to break a tackle and had to have the eraser clean it up before it got any bigger.
Steve-O Klotz, the tight end in there playing fullback. He leads block on Jalen Graham, and in the end it gets a couple of yards. It's Harbaugh, so you know there's a fullback or 2. Here's Marquis Siegel's rookie resume.
Yeah, and you saw what he did at North Dakota State. He was at Kansas State 1 year there and was a captain right away of that football team, and unable to do a lot in the offseason since he really got in the mix in training camp. He's been opening eyes everywhere around here with the 49ers. Very bright future for Marquis Siegel.
Steve-O Klotz with that catch, helped out by Green. Klotz from Iowa State, relevant. You mentioned Siegel from Kansas State. Iowa State beat Kansas State today. College football started today. They played in Dublin, Ireland.
Wow.
And Iowa State, you know, Brock Purdy was locked in on that one this afternoon.
Oh, you know that.
You think you got one other place on earth where there's Brock Purdy fans as big as they are here, and Ames, Iowa is the place. 3rd down. Big hit, churning forward, and shy of the line to gain. It's now 4th down and 3.
Nice job by Jalen Graham, who is battling for that 6th roster spot in terms of the linebackers. You're going to see a double here on Jordan Elliott. And watch Jalen Graham read it, attack the line of scrimmage, and get a sure tackle and get a little bit of a knockback. Got a little bit of help, but forces this 4th down, and it looks like the Chargers are going for it.
This preseason crowd getting into it a little bit now. Well, movement up front. It looked like the Chargers move first. Let's see.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 4 down.
So much for the 4th down situation that both of these coaching staffs love, both offense and defense. Chance to hone your skills on 4th down. Sharp with a false start. Move it back. Here comes the punter.
And that gives us another chance to see Sky Moore back to receive his 3rd punt. J.K. Scott has boomed 2 50-yarders so far tonight. Sky Moore's handled both cleanly. And I say Moore arrived during practice Thursday. That's what happened. He arrived during practice Thursday and was coached up a little bit on some routes and even jumped into practice in red zone. It's a good hang time here, and he's going to clear out. It takes a great Chargers bounce down at the 4-yard line. The punter, the MVP so far for the Chargers tonight. scheduled. He was not supposed to appear till the second quarter, but the 49ers starter tonight, Carter Bradley, he's been limping around. He was out there throwing with Mordecai, so unsure if he's still available, but now it's Tanner's turn.
Yep, and Tanner's been off and on the roster this preseason. They brought in Sudfeld for a day or so, and his something, I think he hurt his arm in practice, so now he's out. They bring Mordecai back. Tanner is a terrific athlete now. I'll say this about him, guys, he's a very good golfer. So, look, it's not a hard game plan. Just operate the game plan and limit those mistakes.
Isaac Guerrero clipped after a loss. Signed on Thursday was Mordecai after he was waived 10 days before that.
You see Naquan Jones just with a quick swim. This guy's been a player in this league for a while now, and a good one. He was in Arizona the last time we saw him, and he is a big ad, I think, up front for the LA Chargers in year number 5. So a big guy with nimble feet. Little swim move got in the backfield.
From his end zone. There is Robbie Chosen, who takes a big hit and holds on, and that gives the 49ers offense a little bit of breathing room.
That's a good job by Tanner Mordecai. He looked outside to Sky Moore and then came back inside on time, both running stick routes to Robbie Chosen. And I think the thing with Robbie, who's started a lot of games, played a lot of pro football for Robbie Chosen, is they want to see is he's not just a go route guy, and he has still got juice. I'm telling you, they want to see those throws and those catches in particular in between the numbers.
The former Robbie Anderson, flag down, pressure up the middle. Mordecai escapes, and Mordecai is able to at least save the 49ers for the moment from 2 points to the defense because he avoided the safety. But let's check on this penalty. He's got a smile on his face. Here's Land Clark, excellent referee. It was third down.
Illegal shift. Offense number 5 and 9 were not set. That penalties declined. Fourth down.
Thomas Morstead's coming back out.
Well, here's corral that poor snap right there from Hennessy, but you can see the athleticism right there and getting away from that safety, and you see big Naquan Jones bearing down on him, just throws it away.
Well, it's, you know, if you're looking at the scoreboard, could Carter Bradley have escaped that safety given how he was limping around?
That's a good point.
So now here's Thomas Morstead. Tanner Morstead. Thomas Morstead. Not to be confused with Tanner Mordecai, or was just confused with Tanner Mordecai. Good return here setting up for Naheem Miller-Hines. Flag down. Miller-Hines breaks a tackle and goes down. Jair Brown saves it at the 15, and we'll check on the flag. Now, what a story, Miller-Hines. 2 years he hasn't played in a game. Remember, he had a severe knee injury, which came while he was sitting on a water, like a sea-doo. He got hit, and it's cost him 2 years of his NFL career. And great to see him back.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 56. A 10-yard penalty from where the kick was caught. First down, Los Angeles.
It's a 41-yard return nullified, and what was going to be a Chargers possession starting at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, and that, I mean, obviously a good return there by Miller-Hines. Used to just be Nyheim Hines, by the way, when he was in Indianapolis, and guy had, as you said, had some good years in pro football. Brant Boyer is not going to be doing a lot of scheming, as Kyle Shanahan has not either. Not a lot of game planning going on here for these preseason games. There'll be plenty of time for that when it gets real for the game at Seattle. But I think if you're Boyer, you just want to get guys in basic situations and evaluate them. Which guys can you count on when you're not winning with scheme, you're just winning with ability? And both of these guys, we already talked about it, Luter and Flowers battling for that, probably that final corner spot. Is how well do they play on special teams? Both of them will be playing gunner.
Taylor Heineke, new quarterback, deep shot incomplete. Darrell Luter was there in coverage of Keandre Lambert-Smith. Another flag on the field. So Heineke takes over for Trey Lance. We'll see a lot of DJ Uiagalelei tonight as well. QB3 for the Chargers.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And again, Darrell Luter, we just talked about special teams. A good job running with Lambert Smith right there. Pretty good glove coverage. Had some safety help over the top from Siegel so he could get into that trail position a little bit. And I'm going to tell you, Lambert Smith runs 4.3. He can move. He's had a very good preseason. Nice work out on the island by Darrell Luter.
Before the 1st and 15, Jim Harbaugh is going to take a timeout. Taylor Heinicke didn't like what he saw.
The first of the half. Be 30 seconds or late.
Jim Harbaugh, year number 2 for the Chargers after 9 years at Michigan, a national champion. Be there on Sunday, September 21st for the 49ers home opener. Levi Stadium, division rival Arizona Cardinals come to town. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets. On the road to Seattle, on the road to New Orleans to start the season for the 49ers.
6 of the first 9 on the road. All the young players are going to have to show up big time.
After the timeout, 1st and 15. Jordan Elliott sniffed out that screen, and it's nearly picked off by Jalen Graham. The Niners defensive line saw it coming. Elliott bailed, and Graham blew it up.
And Jalen Graham had his eyes on that one. There's Jalen right there. Good job by the defensive line recognizing screen. And Jordan Elliott, this is my first rodeo. I've been in this league for a while. Jalen Graham is driving on it, trying to beat that block, and that ball looked like it caromed off and almost had an opportunity to get it.
So now it's 2nd down. That exchange was a little sloppy. A tackle there from Chaz Surratt as the Chargers get some of the yardage back to make it 3rd down and manageable. 7th team for Heinicke. This is his 2nd year with the Chargers. 28 career starts.
Yeah, and he's been around, obviously, and bounced around this league. And I think Jim Harbaugh's got pretty good trust in him as the backup, and he is certainly seasoned for a long time. That was a classic Harbaugh play, that last one. Trying to trap Jordan Elliott, and they were able to get it done and find 9 yards.
49ers bring pressure. Heinicke trying to go to the back shoulder, and Luter was there all locked up with the intended receiver to knock it away. Incomplete. Jaquay Jackson.
Yeah, that is glove coverage. I love what Luter did right there, just slowing down the momentum and stiff arming that right arm in the chuck zone, not the chug zone, as you like to make fun of me for. But a good job by him, just screwing up the timing. Reduce the space. That's how you'll be better if you're Darrell Luter. That was perfect. Flipped his eyes, got it on the football, and forced his 4th down.
49ers Director of Broadcasting Bob Sargent's birthday today. I hear he's taking everybody to the chug zone.
Let's go to the chug zone.
Sky Moore with his 4th chance and his 4th clean catch, but again, nowhere to go. Really good coverage by the Chargers. And so tough starting field position again, and Tanner Mordecai is coming back out. 51 yards. J.K. Scott's having a good night.
Is that his 4th punt?
Yep.
Got to do a little bit better blocking for Sky Moore on that one. It's not good by the rookie 3rd-round pick Nick Martin, who's going to have to be a core 4 special teams guy. I mean, you talk about punt, block, kickoff, return. So many of those young guys and those special teamers have got to be core players and be able to excel on all those units.
Isaac Guerendo back in at running back for Tanner Mordecai. Guerendo gets this first carry and picks up about 4. Another flag down.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
That's Matt Hennessy.
Backup center right now, and maybe battling for a roster spot depending on if Nick Zakelj can get in there and play center. I like Hennessy. He's a former starter with the Atlanta Falcons. Certainly had some injury issues, was here last year, and he's had a nice training camp. And you see this big thing on his left elbow. He's also been dealing with an elbow injury that he's been playing through.
Guerendo was not the cleanest exchange. He gets a couple, maybe 3, 4. Brings up 2nd down at about 11-12 for the 49ers.
Yeah, that was just, it wasn't good timing by anybody as Farrell was trying to sift over and get a block and looked like he got knocked off his path a little bit by Nick Zakelj.
Mordecai gets it out quick. There's Luke Farrell, and he takes a hit and is able to hold on. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5 for the 49ers offense.
Well, I like what Tanner did there, and just get the 5. Just get the easy one to the tight end, sitting in the hole over the middle, and give yourself an opportunity at a manageable 3rd down here at 3rd and 5. So much against this defense, and we'll talk about it going into week 1 against Seattle. You got to take what the defense gives you. They play a lot of different stuff, a lot of it's illusion, a lot of split safeties, and they are counting on quarterbacks being impatient and serving up a turnover. Good job there by Mordecai.
Pressure picked up. Mordecai, that is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. And we will have our 8th punt of the game for a side.
And Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, you know he's going to dial up pressures, and the offensive line and the running back in particular, Guerendo, doing a good job IDing what's coming. Be able to pick it up and give Mordecai that help. Unfortunately, the ball got batted.
Luke Grimm is back deep again to receive. Another Iowa State Cyclone product, rookie for the Chargers. And Morstead sends this to him. And he muffs it. Who's on it? Niners say they've got it. They were right there. Guerendo is jogging off. His shoulder is bothering him as he exits the screen, and the Niners do have the football. Guerendo was the first guy there. He's got his brace on that right shoulder. He's favoring it right now.
Yeah, you can tell he's got the harness on there, and Jaquay Jackson for them also was injured on the play. Oh, hit him right in the grill. Right in the face mask, and just pops off onto the ground, and Braden Willis right there for the recovery.
That is a dangerous play, right? If you've got a shoulder problem, kind of diving, reaching out. It's a gutsy play.
Well, that's instincts. You're going to do it.
Of course, not here today for the 49ers yet is Brian Robinson Jr. As you see, R.J. Mickens, the son of Ray Mickens, a rookie from Clemson, slow to rise.
Yeah, rookie 6th rounder, and they'll be counting on him for that safety depth. He's got these double numbers in the preseason, so I thought it was Jaquay Jackson, but R.J. Mickens, as you said.
Last day of that.
Yeah. For me, you still got some college football.
So 1st down here, great starting field position for the 49ers, and Jeff Wilson gets back to the line of scrimmage. First carry of the day for him. 49ers have gone 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Brian Robinson, and that's unofficial, of course, but I'll tell you what, when it becomes official, I'm really going to like it. It's going to unlock a lot of things for this offense.
There's Luke Farrell, and he's got a 1st down with help from Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson has really played this preseason hard, and there's a 1st down for the Niners under a minute here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, he has, and you're going to see him out and running some interference. Just that speed out by Farrell makes a nice adjustment, spinning around, and then puts his shoulder down. Able to pick up 10+ for another 1st down. But you're right on Demarcus Robinson. That's the first down of the game for the 49er offense.
Back to Wilson. Willis blocking for him, and that's about a yard. And that could be the last play of this 1st quarter. '49ers won in dramatic fashion the 59-yard field goal from Jake Moody last week. As you see Guerendo trying to work that shoulder out. The Niners have 2 running backs already on IR this preseason.
Well, it's been a brutal preseason, guy, in terms of all the bumps and bruises, and couple major injuries, but a lot of minor injuries that have really forced a lot of the guys to miss valuable practice time.
The Goats here. 1 quarter done in Santa Clara.
Guy talked about the injuries across the board. A lot of wide receiver and certainly a lot at running back. So what do the 49ers do? They're forced to go out and make a couple of moves, and boy, did they. Sky Moore will come in and play some receiver, and we've seen him be a punt returner tonight. Good job catching it. The blocking hasn't been great, but the Brian Robinson pickup, I'm telling you, and how it's going to unlock it for Christian McCaffrey to move out there in the slot. Just a tough, hard-nosed runner. What a dime from Mordecai.
Demarcus Robinson just threw the ball into the 25th row. Touchdown 49ers.
Wonder if the fine's as big in the preseason as in the regular season. That was a rope from Mordecai.
22-yard connection to start the second quarter.
And with a wrapper, a defensive end coming right in his face. The corner route from Demarcus Robinson dragging the toe. Mordecai sets the feet, rips it. Telling you, Demarcus Robinson is a huge addition to this receiver core. 31 catches for the Rams last year, but 7 touchdowns. He is a 10-year pros pro. He is going to be a big help when he gets on the field in the regular season.
Jake Moody for the first time. The point after is no good. Wide to the left. Boy, the wind down there, you wonder, was that a factor here? That was not close.
Well, usually when Moody is off, it's a pull job. It's going to the left.
Mordecai the touchdown. And so 6-0 49ers, just coming off the great Saturday last week for Jake Moody. All this set up by the muffed punt by Luke Grimm. Here was Moody last week. In the final minutes, 50 and 59 to win it. Just to set up.
I think that was the 50, and then here's the 59. Bang! That one had another 4 or 5 yards under it, too. He bombed that one. Moody has got, obviously, the skills. When he hits the ball, it sounds different than any other kicker that I've seen come through these doors. It's just all about confidence from him. And for me, when I look at him in terms of how he deals with it from the neck up.
Brant Boyer, the special teams coach, said this week he was so pleased to see how Moody reacted, responded to the miss last week, and so may have that opportunity tonight as well. That's the first drive for either team that didn't end in a punt. There's Luke Gifford coming down to make the initial hit after the 23-yard return. There is Brant Boyer.
And Boyer knows now, and he played linebacker for a long time in pro football and was a very good special teams player and a very good coach. They went out and got guys that can play special teams, and Luke Gifford being one of them from the Tennessee Titans, who we just saw shine with that tackle.
Straight to the iPad or the Surface for Kyle Shanahan. The tablet. And now Taylor Heineke's second series on the field. Tucker Fisk, the Stanford product, Northern California native, has come in as well to play some tight end fullback, and that is Robert Beal Jr. first man in. Darrell Luter continues a good night.
49ers swarming everywhere. Really good job by Robert Beal, who is in a roster battle. He's got to handle the fullback Matlock, who's going to come block him. He wants to hammer that guy, but keep outside leverage, and then Luter comes up in that run support and does it absolutely perfectly. Hitting that outside leg, turning everything back in. Didn't even need the help of Gifford and Evan Anderson showing up. Darrell Luter's having a nice ball game.
Niners were lined up offsides. I think the announcement was 58 Evan Anderson on the interior of the line. It was Anderson, so despite the good defensive effort, 5-yard penalty and replay the down. Back to the ground. Sebastian Valdez in there with Chaz Surratt.
Nice job by Valdez holding up on that double team. 49ers D tackles are going to see a lot of those against this defensive scheme that Saleh deploys.
He's in a battle, isn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. Short, quick, and thick. Just how a lot of D-line coaches like him. There he is there.
Heinicke. And that is bouncing around and deflecting for a first down. Oronde Gadsden, son of Oronde Gadsden, had a great year, great career at Syracuse. Left Syracuse as the all-time leader receptions and yards among tight ends. And here's Trent Williams throwing on the headset. We look forward to seeing you throw on a helmet in a few weeks. Trent, get that thing situated. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's up, big fella?
Can you hear me?
Try and get his microphone
There we go.
situated
Can you
there.
hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Trent. Can you hear us?
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Bro, last one, it gets real in a couple of weeks. We all know about last year and the issues and the injuries across the board, not just you. How fired up for you here for year number 16?
Oh man, I mean, each year is the best year, you know. So obviously we got a lot of things to kind of go back and correct. You know, we left a lot out there on the table last year, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we got a young, hungry team. You know, even me in year 16, I'm still hungry now. But
Trent, it seems like, and there's always expectations with this franchise. You know that. You've been here long enough, and usually this team is playing and reaching up to that bar. It seems like this year, just because of what happened in the offseason, maybe the expectations aren't as great. I know you have them for one another, and I anticipate with the stars on this team and some of these young guys, it's going to end up being a good year.
yeah, for sure. You know, I've been around a long time, and preseason expectations, you know, they're really pointless. You know, they really kind of work against you. You know, I just say, I go back, I look at the Washington Commanders. Nobody would expect them to be in the NFC Championship
Right.
in the preseason. So, you know, we're in that same position. You know, obviously we had a down year, and everybody's down on it. That's cool. That's kind of exactly where we want to be, honestly.
You know, we loved last week. We showed the footage pregame of you and Nick Bosa getting a good sweat in pregame. We don't get to see you guys play in the preseason, but what goes into what is it like, you and Nick, in practice and all the work that the rest of us don't get to see?
I mean, it's literally, I know it sounds cliche, but it's literally iron sharpening iron. I mean, it's probably the generational talent that I get the pleasure of going against every day and getting to learn from him, picking his brain, and vice versa. So, I mean, we help each other a lot. We feed off each other, and we definitely make each other better.
No, and it's a great battle, and you played against really all the great rushers over the last 15 years in pro football. What makes Nick so good? And we all, you know, his skill set and what he does, but he is so precise with his hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
I remember you telling me last year, if you show him the same set twice, he's got you.
Yeah, and that's what makes him so hard to go against. His processor is so fast. You know, he digests his plays so fast. Your set, your quarterback drop, all of it matters. And one little thing is off, and he's planting your quarterback in the ground. So he's just one of those things where he's the definition of pressure bust fight. You know, the pressure he put on you during the pass set, one little thing goes wrong and it's over with. I mean, he's one of the best when it comes to that. You look at his physique, you look at how hard he works. I mean, he you know, I can go on and on about him. Obviously, he's a transcendent talent, and just a pleasure to work with him every day.
And Trent, you guys are, I mean, you're a Hall of Fame player. Nick will be approaching that before it's all said and done. What I appreciate, and you know, you've practiced a lot this training camp, and Nick, you could say the same for him, but I just love the fact that you guys are so trusted with your preparation and how you'll be for game day that they allow you your veteran days off to get in that weight room and stay strong. Talk about that.
Yeah, you know, when you get to this point in your career, I mean, I shouldn't have to be police. You know, I shouldn't have to be told to go do this and go do that. I mean, I wake up every day trying to get the most out of myself, so I don't really need a coach pushing me. But, yeah, them trusting us to take that time off and still craft and get better, you know, I mean, it's obviously it's a testament to what we've done, but, you know, it's also a testament to our relationship with the coach and how much they trust us.
That's So many changes, Deebo Samuel being gone, one of them. So the question is the boombox coming back out pregame?
We've been running the boombox this preseason, so I'm pretty sure it'll make an appearance.
They already made an appearance in the concert.
Right. yeah, for sure.
That thing came right out. I want to ask you about, we had the 49er fans haven't been able to see him in the first 2 preseason games, but the first-round pick out of Georgia, Mykel Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Bright future for him. Trent, talk about him a little bit to the faithful.
Yeah, that guy's a load, man. Definitely, you said it best. Really, really bright future. One of those stalwart picks that John Denver famous for. They did it again. I expect big things out of Mykel. You know, he also is that hybrid D lineman that we haven't had since, you know, DeForest left, where you can play inside and outside. You set the edge, and third down you can go in and rush with the best of them. So, you know, I'm really, really happy to see him in game mode.
Trent, we appreciate your time. We're looking forward to seeing you on the field.
Yes, sir. See y'all, fellas. Y'all take care.
Thanks, big dog.
Yep.
We know that Trent Williams likes Mykel because he let him use his plane already this preseason. 3rd down and 13.
Well, there's the other guy they'll be counting on right there, big Alfred Collins.
Pushing inside and flags. This drive has gone both directions.
Ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
6th penalty on the Chargers so far in this first half.
And Branson Taylor is out there, and I know he's played a lot of tackle, the rookie 6th-round pick. He's been mostly a guard this preseason, got him out of tackle here today. All right, let's see if Big Alfred's got something right here, the 2nd-round pick out of Texas.
Heineke steps up, long throw complete, short of the sticks. Jaquay Jackson, 2nd-year man from Rutgers.
Tell you about Alfred Collins, and look, he's still trying to get his football legs underneath him. They're going to end up running a game, but what you tell him, he's got 35-inch arms in terms of his length. Get those arms up quicker. I told him, I said, you're going to find out in this league, even in long down and distances, that ball is coming out quick. Use those long arms and get some bat downs.
First look at Cameron Dicker, who's going to come out and try a 52-yarder. And that is good. Plenty of leg for Dicker, whose career long is 59. So Chargers are on the board to answer the 49ers touchdown in a 6-3 game. First 6 games for the 49ers, open in Seattle, New Orleans, back home for the Cards and the Jags, then Thursday Night Football against the Rams, and then a trip to take on the Buccaneers on CBS.
Yeah, in Seattle, 1-1 against Seattle last year, swept by Arizona, swept by the Rams. Special teams certainly played parts in a couple of those losses to those teams, but one up at Seattle last year early. Remember that dime that Brock dropped to Brandon Ayuk over the middle of the field? That'll be a big game. 49ers haven't had a lot of great luck in 1 o'clock starts up in Seattle.
Sky Moore gets that out to the 36-yard line. Good return for him in his 49ers debut. 26 on that return. And good to see Carter Bradley, who was limping around early, come back into this game. He and Tanner Mordecai were set to split snaps throughout the night. Mordecai threw a beautiful touchdown pass to Demarcus Robinson, and now Bradley back in. Let's watch how he moves. He's setting up to be QB3 for the 49ers. There's Mordecai, who will come back into this game at some point. Guerendo, good to see him. He's back in as well. Bradley looking his way, and Guerendo makes a tough catch for a yard.
Yeah, it was a tough snap to handle, too, for Carter Bradley. Drake Nugent out there at center. That one looked like it was down on his ankles. Snap wasn't great, but the protection was pretty darn good after by Nugent. Former Michigan player, and I think 3 years at Stanford before he went to Michigan.
That's right. Guerrendo feeling his way and then getting sideswiped after 1 yard, and it's third down.
Well, you got to, so much of this 49er offensive run game and the stretch plays, you got to get offensive linemen to the linebackers and shut that flow down. And Nick Zakelj was unable to do that to get onto Marlowe Wax, and he just waxed Guerendo.
Marlowe Wax,
huh?
From Syracuse.
You like those Syracuse guys?
Greg Papa's my favorite Syracuse guy. Third down. Pressure, ball is out.
Wax again.
The Chargers recover it. Wow.
Marlowe Wax again with a one-on-one, just presses up into that B gap and gets. There he is right here, 58. Just watch him come flying in there on Nugent, the center again, and he split Nugent and Connor Colby and just finishes. And that was a fumble. That ball was in the hand coming forward.
Kyle Shanahan just looked up at the beautiful 4K video board and realized the same.
Reset back, steps up, here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30, 20, one block and he's in, 10, 5, pushed out, touchdown! San Francisco!
City, baby!
That's the voice of, WAER Hall of Famer Greg Papa.
That's
Mike
right.
Tirico made that announcement earlier this year, the voice of the 49ers. Greg, we know, is watching. As always, we're thinking of him and looking forward to his return here to 49ers broadcast. After the 49ers turnover, big stick there from Robert Beal. Evan Anderson in there as well.
And Robert Beal just getting back in the mix. He's been dealing with, I believe, a groin or an upper leg injury. So he hasn't been able to play a lot. Certainly didn't play in Las Vegas. And he finds himself right at the line of scrimmage there, cleaning it up. Good job in front of him by the D tackles, stacking everything up. Robert was able to get in there and finish. Year 3, late pick out of Georgia, absolutely loaded with skills. Runs sub 4.5 out of defensive end.
Jair Brown back in at safety. DJ Uiagalelei's first appearance at quarterback, QB3 for the Chargers, and he throws a touchdown. Oronde Gadsden on the receiving end.
Out in front of Jair Brown. Man, that one was on a rope right there from DJU. Gets flushed out by Evan Anderson. You can see Evan got held right there, and now DJU gets out to the right. Now it's all about the scramble drill. You couldn't throw that any better. Jair looks like he was in pretty good position. He's going to pick everything up and sees Gadsden coming over the top. What a great throw.
DJ Uiagalelei, once the #2 quarterback in the freshman class of 2020 behind Bryce Young, undrafted free agent. His 2 most prolific games as a college player, 5 touchdowns accounted for against San Jose State and against Cal. So his 2 most prolific college games came in the Bay Area, and he comes off the bench and throws a touchdown.
In the Bay Area. Big stud Trent Williams talking to the young stud Mykel Williams, who he was just talking about right there. First round pick out of Georgia. It looks like he's already rubbing off on him a little bit there, guy. Look at that. Where'd you get that? Very excited for Mykel, dealing with a hyperextended knee from the practice against the Denver Broncos. And Trent said it, the versatility of this young cat to be able to set the edge at defensive end. He has got real power now, heavy-handed. You can see it, and then he can move inside and rush the passer, and has certainly got some wiggle to him and can get skinny and get through those gaps. So faithful should be very excited for Mykel Williams.
Junior Bergen's first return of the day, and he gets stopped up at the 20 9-yard line. Not had a chance yet in the preseason games to see Michael Williams. He was injured in that joint practice with Denver, but it sounds like he's going to be back very soon.
Yeah, and really dealt with an ankle a lot of last year with the Bulldogs. I mean, he is built to the right stuff in terms of his mentality. And yeah, I heard that all OTAs. Oh, he's got the right stuff right after the draft. He's got the right stuff, guy. I can tell you from being around him and watching him work in the weight room, on the field, and what his skills are. And a sponge for Nick Bosa. He and Bosa were just talking shop all offseason, so excited for him.
Sky Moore from Carter Bradley, and he's able to get the first down. He nearly stopped short of it.
Well, he should have just kept going. Bobby Turner, the running back coach, needs to get in his ear, and you're going to see him flash from behind the formation. Crossfire, I call it, coming from the other side. Now, take that green grass in front of you. I can hear Bobby Turner, the running backs coach, right now. Chew up whatever green grass is in front of you and then worry about the big play another time. Just keep going.
Movement up front.
Good activate from Drew Moss at right guard. We'll take the free 5.
What do you think of Drew Moss so
Neutral zone
far?
infraction. Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I like him. I think, you know, you look at him from Colorado State and really what he is, he might be a little bit short, but he is an absolute grinder. And he's every bit of 6'3". He's 300 pounds, but he grinds and has certainly raised some eyebrows and has an opportunity to be that 9th offensive lineman if, in fact, they keep 9. But boy, they'd love to have a guy like that stick around on the practice squad and just continue to develop.
Isaac Guerrero churns forward for a couple. And now it's 2nd down and a long 3.
And there he's just able to seal off Naquan Jones. Here he is, and he's going to get inside. We've already seen Big 96 make some plays for the Chargers, but look at, he's going to get on his aiming point. He's going to swivel his hips and create a little seam there for Guerrero. Unfortunately, there was a linebacker and a safety sitting right there waiting for him, but a good job there by Moss.
2nd down and 2. Sky Moore getting a little instruction there from Malik Turner, who's just telling him you're going to go in motion. He does, and Guerrero gets swallowed up. A half-yard maybe.
It's going to be about 1.5 yards. Carter Bradley in that ankle, I don't think you want him running the quarterback sneak or whatever his lower leg injury is. It's something.
McCaffrey and Juice looking on here, 3rd down. It's Guerrero, and he's got the first. Well, short yardage, you mentioned Brian Robinson. That's one of the areas where he really thrives. Again, not official, that acquisition yet, waiting on a corresponding roster move in all likelihood. But, you know, Guerrero now's got some competition there behind Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, no doubt. And B-Rob, as they like to call him, is every bit of 228 pounds. So he will be an asset when you get into the short yardage stuff.
Jeff Wilson. You were drawn on that previous play. You like Drew Moss's block?
I did. Another good job by Drew Moss, just washing Eboigbe down the line of scrimmage and getting some movement on him, which gave him the 1.5 yards that they needed.
The report was he played well. The coaches were happy with how he played in the first game against Denver, his pro debut. Jake Tonjes, the tight end, in there at fullback right now in front of Jeff Wilson. Picks up the pressure, and that pass is deflected away and nearly picked off. Marlowe Wax, who's having a very good night, nearly made another great play.
He sure did, and a couple of guys blocked him. Tonjes gave him the one-timer, and then I think realized maybe I was supposed to stay with him, and then Jeff Wilson comes and cleans it up, and Wax, as you said, they're dropping into coverage, should have or could have been able to get 2 hands on that and rip it down.
49ers 1 of 6 on 3rd down tonight as we approach the last 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter. Flag down. Pressure, and down goes Bradley. Garmin Randolph, the rookie from Baylor, 97. We're used to seeing a lot of plays from the old 97 in the Chargers uniform.
Yeah, and they're going to miss Joey
Illegal
Bosa.
shift. Offense, number 5 and 6 were not set. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Demarcus Robinson and Sky Moore.
And look, this defense last year in pro football, #1 in points allowed, which is the most important stat, obviously, right? And Jim Harbaugh knows it. Manage risk on offense. Don't turn the ball over. Keep people out of the end zone. Get takeaways on defense. And they've certainly got some good players in the secondary, but I think they're going to miss Bosa.
2-minute warning, and the 49ers are going to punt to send us under 2 minutes. Luke Farrell and George Kittle looking on. Kittle and the 49ers will open the season in 2 weeks in Seattle. 29 days away from the home opener. First time we'll see Kittle and co back here in the regular season when they host the Arizona Cardinals week 3.
Spots to watch out there, the Gunners. Chase Lucas getting viced up there, double teamed, and then Jacob Robinson here at the bottom of the screen. Didn't go well for Chase, driven out of bounds. Let's see if Robinson can make up for it.
Well, Lucas, as Robinson is the man who beats Lucas to the ball. Lucas still almost got to the ball first, and Curtis Robinson had a big tackle last week, less than a year removed from that ACL injury last year. And speed's down.
Yeah, and he's got speed now. I remember when he was coming out of Stanford, ran in the high 4.4s on his pro day. And he's got a lot of upside. I'm telling you, Guy, as just a developing linebacker, and for Brant Boyer on special teams to be one of those core 4 guys that can play multiple positions on special teams is certainly a feather in his cap.
Colt Anderson, assistant special teams coach, there talking with Chase Lucas. And DJ Uiagalelei came off the bench. 2 snaps for him, and he threw the go-ahead touchdown on the last Chargers possession. And this is stopped up after a couple of yards.
Bruce Hector inside, stacks it up. No movement on him, and he gets in on it, and then Robert Beal comes and helps clean it up. That's really good by Hector, who is a load inside, handling those offensive line double teams up in the interior.
Bruce Hector, undrafted free agent 8 years ago, on his 8th team. There you see DJ Uiagalelei's 3 different schools, Clemson, then Oregon State, and then finished up at Florida State. Last year broke a finger, so only played 5 games for the Seminoles. Asking for the play clock to reset. It doesn't, so it's at 3. Against a 4-man rush, Uiagalelei lofts it into traffic, over Flowers, and it is caught.
Well, I don't know what happened with Dallas Flowers. He looked like he was in position to make a play on that ball, and he just never tracked it.
Dale Von Campbell, a 25-yard reception.
Yeah, he just lost some spatial awareness or something, and I don't think he ever tracked that football.
Chargers will take a timeout.
Just playing upfield. He's got some safety help coming over the top, and that's a good throw from DJU, just ripping it into that back shoulder, but not a great adjustment out there by Flowers, who did all the hard work before the ball got there.
So 1 timeout left for the Chargers. Now 56 seconds. Again, the career long for Dickers, 59 yards. That was in Glendale. Uiagalelei's made some really nice throws tonight in his short time on the field so far. And this time checks it down to Johnson. Derek Canteen.
Ooh.
Luter came flying in.
That's friendly fire on Canteen.
2nd down and 2 coming up.
Travis Gibson, good pressure, forces it out. Watch this hit on Canteen. Bang. Darrell Luter right there.
Uiagalelei, long throw, sideline, caught, and a 1st down out of bounds.
Boy, he is
That's
impressive.
Campbell
now.
again.
DJU is impressive because Canteen's coming on a slot corner blitz, and he's unblocked. And he's going to jump up, and then just an absolute dime again on that out route in front of Luter.
Thumbs up telling the coach I'm hearing you in the headset. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh's old offensive coordinator here with the 49ers. Another quick throw and poor tackling there as Johnson's able to get the first down. And now another timeout. 12 yards on that pickup.
Just 5 out spread game. It's a 5-man protection. There's 5 out in the route. You know the ball's coming out quick. I think the 49ers only rushed 3 that time. Tried to get an extra guy in coverage. Sebastian Valdez. Hard for those guys to drop into coverage and locate that football and what some of the routes are coming at them. DJU's been impressive.
5 for 5 for 84 yards so far. No more timeouts for the Chargers. '49ers will get the ball first in the second half. Naheem Miller-Hines is the back. Chaz Surratt, the linebacker, up over the ball. Jalen Graham and Surratt back out. Uiagalelei trying it again. Did Campbell get both feet down? He did. Another great connection.
And another really good throw, throwing it high in the back shoulder. Again, that ball's coming out in about 2 seconds, and that's just a really good adjustment by Campbell, and Luter wasn't ready for it.
Did that left foot come down?
There's the rights down. Oh, that's hard to tell from that. Under 2 minutes, it's got to go to an auto challenge right in the booth.
Campbell, the rookie from South Carolina. Did his foot come down on Luter's? Uiagalelei trying it again, and this time out of bounds. Take another look here. Or did he hop? Did he hop?
Legal shift. So right down.
One.
I don't know if it touched Luter's foot or the toe was tapped in the field of play.
Evan was not set. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Illegal shift is the call against the Chargers. Eight penalties now on Harbaugh's group tonight. And they're not going to risk it here with 12 seconds. They're going to send Cameron Dicker, the kicker, out for what will be a 37-yard try.
And we all know the Chargers for years had some issues with special teams and winning games. Not with this young cat. He is really good.
Dicker, the kicker. Perfect. So good drive executed by DJ Uiagalelei and the Chargers here at the end of the half. 6 points on the board for the 49ers, result of a touchdown. Missed the extra point. And so it's 13-6. 49ers getting the ball in the second half. But that was very well executed. Remember, that Chargers drive started down inside their own 10.
Yeah, and good plays on the perimeter by their wideouts against Luter and Dallas Flowers.
Perfect chance for a lightning bolt return here for the 49ers. Been waiting for it. Junior Bergen's back there. Sky Moore, the new 49er. Every time we say new 49er, you realize there's another 49er that's newer. But Brian Robinson's not official yet. But like by Monday, this guy got here Thursday. He's not the newest. Or maybe by tomorrow, we'll see. But he's back. He's had several punt returns in this game. Bergen had one kick return his last time. He's back there as well, the rookie. Moore wearing number 6, Bergen 86.
He's shocked they don't just bomb this one.
Well, that's no fun. Touchback to the 35, and Moore's going to kneel it down.
Yeah, that's obviously the right call with 9 seconds to go in half. Don't give him an opportunity.
In the preseason. So Tanner Mordecai back out. breaking the pattern a little bit. You know, typically we've seen Brock Purdy, I say typically, the last couple of years we've seen Brock Purdy the second and the third preseason game. With the Mac Jones injury last week and offensive line banged up, no Pooney, no reason to play Purdy tonight. So Shanahan made that announcement earlier this week. It's Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai. It'll be up to them as they head to the locker room to figure out a way to get this offense jump-started. One really good drive for the 49ers, resulting in that touchdown. But some work to do here if they want to come back in this third and final preseason game. 2 quarters away from the regular season as well. Rice and Rice, Brendan Rice and Dad Jerry with a hug on the field earlier today. The 49ers go down. Just about ready for the third quarter here in the third and final game of the NFL preseason for the San Francisco 49ers. 29 days from the home opener, a couple of weeks from the season opener. Tim Ryan, Guy Haberman. Not a lot of offensive movement. One touchdown for the 49ers, and it was by a guy who figures to be one of the key cogs on offense, Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah, and we'll see what any pending suspension is for him to start the season. But he is a really good free agent acquisition coming over from the Rams, coming up from Los Angeles, and he's going to be a big-time player as part of that receiver core. Beautiful route, corner route, and really the best throw I've seen Tanner Mordecai throw as a 49er. Had a little pressure bearing down on him, threaded the needle, put it right on Demarcus Robinson for the touchdown, and there's Mordecai warming up and getting ready for the second half. I think Garrett Bradley, I don't know. I mean, I know they wanted to rotate those guys 1 quarter at a time, but I think Bradley got hurt on the very first third down, and he's been trying to get back in the game, but clearly he's got a limp working something with that one of those lower legs.
And you can see it there, the tape on the right ankle. Remember, roster cuts, the rosters are down to 53 by 1 o'clock Pacific on Tuesday. That's not the, even though final roster cuts, there's still more to happen. Remember, the 49ers actually have one of the earliest positions in the waiver claim in several years. They're 11th in the claim order, and that lasts through the 3rd week of the NFL regular season. So they will have an opportunity post cut down time to make some more moves. And
that's a great point, Guy, because we talk about keeping 53 and keeping the right 53. The right 53 may not have been, in terms of a few guys in a 49er uniform all summer, and Kyle Shanahan knows that, Robert Saleh knows that, and they may have to end up beefing up the bottom end of this roster with a couple of guys that haven't been here. I'll tell you this, Luter started really good in terms of the game out there on the island. He's dropped just a little bit. Dallas Flowers on the other side, unable to make plays when those opportunities have been there. But I'm telling you, both of those guys are battling, and you have got to have more than 2 corners out on the perimeter in this league. Right now it's Diamador and it's Renardo Green, and Chase Lucas has been great in the slot this preseason. We're probably going to see him out on the perimeter here in the second half.
Dallas Flowers trying to add some value. He gets in front of Junior Bergen there. It'll be Flowers to bring this out. The kick to start the second half, and just when he thought he saw some daylight, he gets brought down from behind. So Tanner Mordecai back out. The plan tonight was for Carter Bradley to get the first and third quarters, Mordecai to get the second and fourth, but as Tim said earlier, Bradley was limping around after that first possession, played the second, but then Mordecai came in halfway through that quarter. They're the only 2 quarterbacks in uniform today for the 49ers. It's not just Purdy that's not dressed out. Mac Jones also not dressed out today. And here is Jeff Wilson. A flag comes in. That's been part of the story of this game, too.
This game's been sloppy. Been hard to get big 96 blocked up front. Naquan Jones, too.
6'3", 313 pounds. #12th overall penalty.
Offside, number 9. Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Braden Willis was just lined up offsides. End man on the line of scrimmage just was too far over the ball. And again, that's a challenge with different centers and Drake Nugent in there at center. I'm sure Braden hasn't played a lot with him in there, but you got to line up right.
Flag down again, and that was nearly a disaster. That's Miles Purchase, the rookie from Iowa State.
He almost got a freebie. He didn't even have to purchase that one. That bracket coverage on Braden Willis, 2 of them.
Illegal shift on the offense. Number 20 and 9. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Third illegal shift for the 49ers. There you see Dominic Pender as part of a scheduled change with Land Clark for the second half. Land Clark, our referee to start this game, one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and I think Braden Willis is asking the same. What happened? He was in man on the line of scrimmage. I'm not so sure he was part of that illegal shift.
Here's Wilson. Breaks one tackle, gets away from the second tackler, and nearly gets out of a third.
And another penalty down late.
At the very end.
Holding. Number 6 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Sky Moore.
Well, you know one thing, in this offense, you're going to ask receivers to get out there and block, and he's trying to block in the open field. That was a good cut by Jeff. I didn't really see any material effect holding him back, at least from that look from Sky Moore.
Sky Moore getting a yard. That was the 4th first down play in a row. There hasn't been a first down just to start this second half.
Well, and this quick laser screen out to the left there, the Chargers were all over that.
Sky Moore again. Malik Turner's been helping him today, lining up. Just got here Thursday. Sky Moore running up the seam. Mordecai looking that way, and that got knocked down. And now it's 3rd and 22.
Throw that right hand up late.
6'5", 292. Yep, Eboigbe from Alabama. Here's Wilson again. And he at least gets some breathing room for Thomas Morstead.
A couple of pump draws in the same drive. Love that. You see Mordecai pump it out there to right, turn and hand it, let the defensive line get upfield and declare. You said it, just getting some room for Thomas Morstead. And year 17 for T. Morstead.
From Pearland, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston, came out in the 5th round in 2009 from SMU.
And then the guy snapping to him, John Weeks. Watch him cover. Year 16 for Little Weeks. Pretty darn good at what he does.
39 years old as well. Both of them 39 years old. This is hanging up there. And Weeks makes the tackle. Did you call that?
I'm telling you, his footwork, he is going to put him up and put him down. He is going to take more steps than anybody you've ever seen covering kicks. He's got a 28-inch inseam, and it doesn't matter. His lateral movement is ridiculously good.
Well, 2 men who need no introduction. 2 of the all-time greats, Gold Jackets, number 1 and number 2 in so many franchise categories. Jerry Rice, most touchdowns ever. T.O. and both of their sons in uniform tonight. On the left,
that's awesome.
Brendan Rice in his 2nd year out of USC, and on the right, of course, Tariq Owens, who made his first preseason catch last week for the 49ers in his 2nd year.
Yeah, and you wonder if how long these boys have known each other, right, growing up. And with Dad Jerry and Dad T.O. Jerry had to finish on the road, as we all know.
Brendan Rice in the game for the first time.
Both of them did, actually.
And there's Mahoney with the tackle. 9-yard gain. But they're 49ers.
Period. Jerry went on to play a few teams. T.O. obviously in Philadelphia. No, they are 49ers.
Jerry Rice here tonight. Brendan started his career at Colorado, then finished at USC. Caught 3 passes last year in the regular season for the Chargers. He's a 7th-round pick.
Chase Lucas out there on him.
Is Nick Martin standing strong. Valdez on the ground along with Curtis Robinson.
Yeah, the fullback force play. Just turn and hand it. And the fullback was lead blocking, but the depth of the tailback in that set was so tight, it was close to the line of scrimmage. That's just a quick force play. Well done again by the interior D-line with Valdez cleaning it up.
2 tight ends, quote unquote, wearing 40 in the game right now. Steve O'Klotz and Tucker Fisk. Fisk from nearby Davis, California. And they're going to pick up the first down here. And the Chargers move the chains.
Boy, both D tackles, great job. Evan Anderson and Valdez handling their blocks. Valdez looks like, I mean, look at, they're reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Nick Martin locked up. They just needed, obviously, not a long gain, and were able to get it, but really well done stacking it up by both defensive tackles.
Valdez, who benched 225 pounds 34 times in his draft prep. And there with Evan Anderson inside. Nick Martin playing some valuable snaps for him. And he punches the ball out, and Evan Anderson recovers it.
Love that. Saleh loves that defense because that is clinic defense. You play it right with the defensive line. Linebackers come up and knock it out, knock it backwards. Then Evan Anderson's going down with a photo op with the Guardian cap. Watch this. Watch both D tackles stack it up. You hammer it from the edges, and then Nick Martin right there puts his right shoulder on the ball, knocks it out.
Registration's open for the 49ers Flag Football League's fall and winter sessions for girls and boys ages 5 to 17. Leagues are available in Livermore, Gilroy, Fairfield, Vallejo, and Napa. Sign up for a fall or winter flag football league at 49ers.com/flag.
And that is just taking off, that flag football now across the nation.
Here comes Sky Moore after the turnover forced by Nick Martin, and Tonjes helping him pull forward a little bit. Good gain for Sky Moore, 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, and that's a classic Andy Reid Kansas City Chiefs play that he ran for them. The jet pass, just throw it forward, out leverage the defensive end, count on a couple blocks to the outside, and they end up getting 6 yards out of it.
Counts as a catch. It's his 3rd reception of the day, which leads the 49ers. They've, between special teams and then on offense, they're trying to get him the ball a lot. The result of this play is very close to the line to gain, but another flag is down.
Another illegal shift.
Illegal shift. Offense, number 3 and 6. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, with this is the 3rd illegal shift on 2 players that didn't come set. You wonder if you just have time to take a beat before the snap.
Yeah, they're really calling it ticky-tack in terms of the officiating, because both of them were in position, both of them moved. You got to be set for a full second. It was close, and they threw it anyway. They realize it's preseason game number 3.
Here's Mordecai showing off the legs. Stiff arm. Stays in bounds, gets the first down.
Well,
Willis without blocking.
And you can see, Guy, the kind of juice that he's got in the athleticism. I mean, he is a very athletic guy and just fakes the zone read. He reads it right. Defensive end crashes, and he has got some wiggle in the open field now. Getting down and getting the first down. Little stiff arm there at the end. Ball in the right arm over by the boundary. All done right by Mordecai.
Now it's 1st down and 10. And back to Wilson. Evades one man, pulls out of a 2nd tackle, and a strong run from Jeff Wilson.
That's classic Jeff Wilson run right there. In the vision, ID in the hole, getting a nice little move. Drops off one guy, leg just drips off of his lower body right there. Now the stiff arm on the linebacker pulls away from him. A couple of guys finally get him down after about 8.
Wilson again cuts it back, and he's got the first down. Well, you mentioned Mordecai's athleticism. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster August for him. Waived on August 4th. Let's see what Jeff Wilson did. First with the 49ers, then the Dolphins. Mordecai then was signed again on August 8th, 4 days after he was waived. Then waived on August 11th, 3 days after he was signed. Then signed on August 21st, 10 days after he was waived. Which I'm sure is a mental challenge in particular for a player. He's trying to show the 49ers something here in this second half. That is on the money. Isaiah Hodgins, that ball was the only place it could be.
You're absolutely right.
Down.
Because if he's leading Hodgins, who is a big target, any more to the inside, Morris Brash is probably intercepting this. Because he's right in the throwing lane, but he puts it on the back shoulder of Isaiah Hodgins, where he had to turn his body and go get it and threw him open. Nice.
49ers in the Toyota red zone. Keyshawn Vaughn with his first carry today. Good to see Hodgins had a good game last week against the Raiders. I know he had a couple opportunities would have liked back in the first week. The San Jose native, 6th year as a pro, first year with the 49ers, played with the Giants last year. A lot of tickets out, you know it, when he's playing here at Levi's.
No, he's been a good player in this league now, and I think it was the 23. I think we played the Giants that year, and guy started a lot of games, played a lot. Dad was James from my high school in San Jose, the Hammer, fullback James Hodgins.
Oh, speaking of a hammer, Malik Turner with the first down, his first catch today. Turner's 3rd time with the 49ers.
Good throw rolling to his left, puts it right on Malik right there. There's a shot. He turns around and shakes that one off and then gets high load and takes another one. Nice little cut, reading that coverage, getting to the outside, out leveraging everybody.
A half that started with a really messy drive is now turned in after the turnover forced. A very clean operation for the 49ers. Wilson cuts it back, sees a seam, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Press it, press it, press it, see it, foot in the ground, go. Right off of the block of Drew Moss, who is just pushing guys down the line of scrimmage. Love that for Jeff. And for Moss. Here he is, watch him. So he's working a double, then he's going to work out to the next guy. Getting help from Zakelj to the inside. Jeff Wilson sees it, hits the gas pedal, plunges in for his 2nd touchdown of the preseason.
Now how will Jake Moody respond? Missed an extra point on the 49ers' first touchdown. Armstead the hold, Weeks the snap. And that is perfect.
You could sense the trepidation in the stadium.
Jeff Wilson gets the Niners offense jump started. After the forced fumble, the 49ers tie the game. A play 57-yard drive for the 49ers, capped by the Jeff Wilson touchdown. There's Patrick Taylor with the injury last week. Amir Abdullah the week before on IR. So the 49ers have been running through the running backs.
Corey Kiner last week, who
right.
was promising rookie.
We'll see what happens with him as the season unfolds. But the first 2 placed on IR. Some Isaac Guerendo tonight. Jake Moody made the extra point, got a big reaction from the crowd, and then puts this out of bounds.
And that,
so that'll come to the 40-yard line.
You're trying to place it, you're trying to directional kick it, get it in that landing zone where they got to feel that Brant Boyer is not happy about that. That ball's coming out to the 40.
Kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line.
And that is an error and it happens now. I saw it happen watching the Chargers play last week. I think both teams did it. And it's because of that directional kicking, and they're trying to get it in that landing zone just in front of the goal line to have a chance to keep them pinned inside the 20. Better have some good ball location when you do that.
DG Uiagalelei back out. Nick Martin coming on the blitz, and that gets batted away by Shaquille Brown for the 49ers.
I think Chase Lucas thought he was going to have himself an interception opportunity out there. You see that all the time. Shaquille Brown working, good eyes, going to get his hand up. Excuse me, that's working around to the outside. That's just good D right there, just driving the offensive lineman back, keeping his eyes on the target. The quarterback, that non-throwing hand comes off. You know it's coming out. Get your hands up and get a bat down.
Yeah, Tim's mentioned a few times Chase Lucas getting his opportunity to play outside after 2 weeks in nickel. Good cut there. Nick Martin comes flying in to erase that run from Raheem Sanders.
Yeah, and you said it, erase. And that's exactly what it was because of the run and hit speed and skill set of Nick Martin. Here is where he is, and you're going to see that little pump draw. 49ers have run the same play. He's able to bounce and get outside of Canteen. Nick Martin's not taking the bait, nor was Curtis Robinson. Both of those guys on their horse to track down the ball carrier inside out.
Big night for Nick Martin, right? He had the fumble recovery on the fumble forced on the last drive. So now 3rd down and 11. Uiagalelei, pressure, throws through multiple hands and incomplete. There's a couple of guys on the field right now that think they should have caught it. And William Bradley King is one of them.
Good rush by him, and really got kind of grabbed out in front. He turns it on. It just slowed him down a little bit. DJU just ripped that. Another guy just picked up within the last couple of weeks, Bradley King, who made some plays against the Raiders last week, as did Harris, who was also just brought in. 49ers have had to do a lot of that. We referenced the injuries and the bumps and the bruises. They had to get a lot of replacement players this training camp.
Bradley King's been here 10 days, signed 2 days before the Raider game and played in that game. Junior Bergen picks it up on a bounce and almost splits the defense. Carter Bradley's going to jog back out and give it a go for the 49ers at quarterback in a tie game.
Guy, here's the running back room, and don't hold me to it, but I think they'll keep 4 of these 6 guys. Of course, can't wait to see this stick of dynamite detonate week 1 at Seattle. He has looked great. This is the new addition, although it's UO. I'm going to say that's unofficial at this point. Garendo, we know what he's been able to do here going into year 2, 5 yards a carry. Jordan James, the rookie 5th round pick, very impressive till he broke his finger. And then Jeff and Keyshawn Vaughn trying to round it out. See if those guys, if in fact they make it, are on the practice squad. Either way, as Christian McCaffrey said, and I've talked to him a lot this preseason about the running backs and the guy coaching them, and Bobby Turner. It is a good room, and they've lost a couple of good players in that room, and they have replaced them with a couple of good people and guys that have had good success in this league. But I am fired up. I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, you go out and you have those injuries last week to Kiner and to Patrick Taylor, and then you're not just going to stand pat. I think they sent a message to the 49er fan base that we think we're going to be pretty good. We're not going to be a middle-of-the-road team. Let's go out and make an addition, and I think financially it made tremendous sense to give up a late pick to go get Brian Robinson from the Washington Commanders. Another good cut by Jeff Wilson, seeing that green grass up inside and taking it.
But Christian McCaffrey's looked good in training camp, hasn't he?
He's looked great in training camp. He is absolutely back. Navarro Bowman, Big Bo.
Are we sure he has no snaps left?
Well, he's got arms left, I can tell you that.
Oh my goodness. Frank Gore is here today. Patrick Willis is here today. Third down. Pressure picked up, and Malik Turner with another first down catch.
Really good by Jeff Wilson right there, and not only picking up the pressure, but finishing it. And Malik Turner gets the payoff with the catch, but Jeff is all over this in the offensive line. There it is. Jeff just steps up, finishes the blitzer, and then Malik Turner is on the receiving end of a good throw from Carter Bradley for a first down at midfield.
Malik Turner set a UFL record in the championship game this year, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Michigan Panthers.
And he has bounced around the NFL. Seattle, Dallas, was here, has been a good player in this league.
Bradley to Turner, and he can't hold on, but a flag comes in. He had a couple defensive backs around him.
I think somebody was getting held out there, I think.
It's going to be pass interference on whoever was defending Turner. Let's see.
Pass interference, number 31. Defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of foul. First down.
The rookie Triquez Bridges.
There's that classic keeper action that is all over the 49er playbook. It's a good throw from Bradley, and there it is, holding on. Bridges holding on to the bottom of the jersey of Malik Turner and pulling it away. That's an easy one for that official over on the sideline.
You know, I think it was Marlo Wax, so it was a legitimate penalty. Just, you know, Bridges is saying, why me?
Yeah, it was. There's Marlo Wax.
Keyshawn Vaughn with a couple of yards. Now second down. Carter Bradley's out there fighting it. I mean, he knows this is an important time to show that you're able to go. And, you know, knowing there's a couple weeks before the next game, the expectation, right, Tim, is that Mac Jones will be good to go in uniform for the season opener.
Absolutely. And you know, I don't know if John Lynch, if they keep 3 quarterbacks or if they just keep one on practice squad. And we all know what happened at Philadelphia, and they changed the rule and the 3rd quarterback and all that to have behind Brock. And there's a guy that may factor in before it's all said and done right there.
Curtis Rourke.
Curtis Rourke, the 7th round pick out of Indiana.
Redshirting this year, so to speak, after ACL surgery. Loses about half a yard, does Wilson.
But I give Carter Bradley a lot of credit. I mean, he is out there on one leg. That right ankle got hurt on the first 3rd down play. And you could see it because then he ran the keeper a couple of plays later, and he was definitely limping around on that. And I promise you, he's got a full metal jacket in terms of a tape job. Probably got a $30 tape job on that ankle. And it's talking to him every time he takes a step.
3rd down and 9. Pressure off the edge. Somehow gets picked up. Robbie Chosen. Sticky fingers and a first down.
Boy, what a throw. What a catch. And there was pressure on both of them. Carter Bradley just gets ripped in the head. That should have been called. And then the arms are just getting ripped down away from his body from Robbie Chosen, and he's able to hang on to this. Look at him trying to open up the pocket and rip that right arm away. Robbie said, no, I'll choose to hang on to this ball. And those are the kind of routes, guy, they want to see from him. He's not just a go ball guy. In the middle of the field, between the numbers, in cuts. Strong catches.
Jeff Wilson reverses it and picks up a couple. Dangerous decision, and he made the most of it. Now Sky Moore jogging back out. Oh, Robbie Chosen, I mean, you know, we got to Robbie Chosen started tonight. You know, the wide receiver room, Ayuk, you know, obviously at least a month and a half away or so. Jordan Watkins, the high ankle sprain, will he or won't he be back in time for week 1? Jacob Cowing came back, got hurt.
Yep. Russell Gage dealing with an MCL in his knee, but has had a very good training camp as he tries to earn a roster spot and get in that wide receiver room.
And of course, Juwan Jennings. More pressure picked up, and that is behind an incomplete Turner. And it's 3rd and 8. Final minute here of the 3rd quarter, and now Chosen's going to come back out.
Another good blitz pickup. That time Keyshawn Vaughn getting the edge defender. Lucky that wasn't intercepted, and clearly some miscommunication between the quarterback and the routes that were run.
Bradley looking, check down, and Wilson can't hang on. It's incomplete. And now this is typically, and it is, field goal territory. And here comes Jake Moody. The flags on top of the stadium are really ripping today. And the flags on the uprights don't quite show it.
There you go.
But you can feel it down there on the field.
And it's tricky here at Levi's now. It swirls. You can't just. I remember I learned from Robbie Gould, the great kicker here for a long time, and Robbie would tell me, and it's something that takes some getting used to for sure.
And 38 yards here for Moody. A restless crowd watches as Moody splits the uprights again. Missed the extra point to start the game. But his last two kicks have looked good.
Right down the middle. I think the whole key with him is, and I talked about it, neck up and confidence, because he's certainly got the skills. And I don't know a lot about kicking, but I don't care if it's a 55-yarder or an extra point. I think the idea is you stroke them all the same. It's not like you're trying to juice one a little further than the other. You're trying to kind of feather one on the shorter kicks. Just stay consistent with the wind-up and the swing.
Now he'll get a chance to kick it away. 59-yarder a week ago. We mentioned it a couple of times. The game winner in Vegas, Brant Boyer, the new special teams coach. I mean, here with a job to do, there's no question about it, given the 49ers' recent special teams performances, histories. And he's got some stuff to figure out at returner because of some injuries. Sky Moore came in today and has had several clean punt catches. Miller Hines gets out to the 32-yard line. 49ers leading 16-13 now. Jacob Robinson there on the tackle. And here comes DJ Uiagalelei again, who's had a really good night. 7 of 9.
Sure has.
112. And has had some style points with it. His younger brother Mateo is a really good, you know what position his younger brother plays? Defensive end.
Wow.
Which if I told you, DJ looks like once upon a time he could have played defensive end too. It's a big young man, 6'4", 252. His younger brother Mateo is one of the best pass rushers in the country at Oregon. Pressure up the middle. Uiagalelei. Oh, Brendan Rice. There was a lot of traffic around that ball.
Yeah, that was loaded coverage right there, and everyone dropped off into zone and loaded the middle of the field. You see Brandon Rice flash in from the right side of your screen right there. He wasn't even ready for the football with 4 49ers around him.
It's great to have Robert Saleh back.
Boy, is it.
Play clock is low. Chargers get it off. And Rice was in a battle with Siran Neal. Siran Neal won. And now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Robert Saleh, and who knows, may end up calling more blitzes. I've certainly seen him dialed up in practice and in some of the games here in the preseason, certainly the last couple, and they've been able to get home. You know the ball's coming out quick. Siran Neal, it's not his first rodeo in year 8. He knows the ball's coming out. You got pressure called up in front. DJU unloads it. Siran Neal just blanket coverage out there on Brendan Rice.
Uiagalelei might have been hit, clipped, and he can't connect.
Boy, that flag came in late.
Jackson. Yes, it did.
They're going to get defensive holding on Chase Lucas. I think he grabbed the receiver as he was making that out cut.
Sometimes the flag just a little patient to see the result of the play.
Holding.
Meanwhile,
Number 26 in the defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
the receiver Jackson is down still on the field after this play.
Oh boy, I didn't see a lot of material restriction in terms of a hold right there as he was trying to get to the corner route to the outcut. Unless he had him up top and inside. We just saw the back view. I think Chase is thinking the same thing I am after looking at it.
He just watched it in 4K, the biggest 4K screen in the league. New screens this year. It's Trey Lance and Justin Herbert looking on. Trey started tonight, 3 series for the Chargers.
Boy, what a career, a young career Justin Herbert has had. Most yards, most completions of anybody in pro football in their first 5 years.
Crunch, Nick Martin and Curtis Robinson.
Nick Martin looks like he's a little slow to get up.
Luke Grimm, the rookie, caught that. And you can see Martin feeling it at the end of the third quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter. Timeout.
We'll check on Nick Martin when we return here to Santa Clara. Look at the light show new at Levi Stadium this year just before the fourth quarter begins here in the final and third preseason game for the 49ers. Great to have with us in the booth now the president of the 49ers, Al Guido. And how did the lights get added this season?
You know, George told me for a number of years, Kittle that is, that he wanted the lights that he saw in college when people score. And so as part of this $200 million renovation to get ready for not just this season, but the Super Bowl and the World Cup being here, that's one part of it with the rest of the big boards. We're real excited to kick it off for our fans.
Well, you know he's a star. He loves the lights.
Yeah, listen, he gave me a shout out on one of the podcasts, so I give him credit for that. And I told him we play a lot of our games at 1 o'clock. And then he reminded me, hey, Al, we got like 6 primetime games every year. And late in the season, it matters. I said, you're right, George, you're right.
Good to see Nick Martin back in. We saw him go off a little gimpy after the end of the third quarter, but he's back in here on this sequence. So they're George's lights. The other thing we've noticed being here now, 2 games of the preseason, you can see it every time a player looks up too. The largest 4K boards in the NFL. These look great.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I appreciate it, Guy. And I will say, welcome to the box, man. I know it's under tough circumstances. I reached out to Papa today, and we've done this the last couple years in the fourth quarter, and I'll just say you're doing an awesome job, man. It's really good to have you as part of this team. It's been, I give the York family all the credit. We put $300 million into this building in the first 10 years of the operation. To know that we're 10 years removed from Super Bowl 50 and we're going to host again this February. And I've had a chance to speak to a lot of our fans and what it means to the community. We're going to be the only building ever in history to host a Super Bowl and a World Cup in the same calendar year. And that would not happen without, frankly, all of our fans, the family, of course, the public support that we've got from the city of Santa Clara and the rest of the public constituents. It's just a really, really special year. And, I know 49ers are first, and that's what we're here to talk about. But I think for all of our fans, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and the venue is unbelievable. It looks like he did some stuff down on the field, too, for the soccer in the corners of the end zones. What's different? Because it looks different.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. I mean, honestly, Matt Griner's thrilled because as part of the FIFA rollout, we had to widen the corners to make it for corner kicks. But the other thing that we did is we put a sub-air system underneath the field. And I personally think, look, we weren't great in that first year. Everybody knows it. But Matt Griner, in my opinion, is the best in the business as a groundskeeper.
I fully agree with that.
And our field has been great ever since year 2. And it's only going to get better with everything that we did and invested in that facility. And that means a lot to our players. You know, Tim, playing on grass is so much better than playing on turf, and the ability to do it here, in my opinion, the best surface in the NFL does matter.
Yeah, and you know what you're right about is the best surface, and the practice field is the same thing now. And what Griner did over there and improving the grounds and the grass over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the whole campus, and I said, like, even though we're only 12 years in, right, we don't want to rest on our laurels in anything, whether it's on the field of play, whether it's in our strength and conditioning programs, whether it's our fan experience in the building, concession stands, retail. This family, this organization really does want to make sure that we continue and invest. And, we do that on the business side. We also do that on the foundation side. And that's a lot of what I'm excited for this Super Bowl. I mean, $2 billion of economic impact has happened just because Levi's is built. another $1 billion will happen just because of the Super Bowl and the World Cup. And that, I think, is special, and we wouldn't be here without that.
Boy, that is well said. I didn't realize it was those kind of numbers when you start talking about the economics of having the Super Bowl here in the World Cup and everything that it brings right here to the South Bay and to really the whole Bay Area.
Well, Tim, you know, we talked about it when we bid on Super Bowl 60 about how much the Bay has changed. I mean, you know, we went from the oldest non-renovated stadium in Candlestick, and look, I loved it. It's got so many historic moments. To then come to Levi's, and then now people ask me, like, what's going to be different about Super Bowl 60? And I have to remind people, I said, well, Chase Center wasn't even there. And what Joe and Peter and that team did with Chase Center, and then you look at what Larry Bear and the Giants have done with Oracle Park, and then the Mission Rock development. So a lot of the Super Bowl city is going to change dramatically from what happened the last time. It's going to be a lot on the waterfront. And then give Matt, you know, Mayor Mahan in San Jose a ton of credit. The changes to SAP and what the Sharks have there.
Yep.
So I just think the footprint has gotten so much better. And then you add on to the fact that Apple and Google via YouTube are now partners of the NFL. To me, there's just not a better region to host these large events in. And we didn't have that before Levi's. But give the rest of the sports teams credit because their facilities got a hell of a lot better too.
Great play there from Nick Martin. It's important, you know, you bring it up for people who don't remember. 10 years ago, all of that week leading up was in San Francisco, and the city was really buzzing leading up to that Super Bowl. And I know it probably feels like there's a little juice to try and get this team in their own Super Bowl. It's happened a few times in the last few years around
Very
the NFL.
much so. Look, it's definitely been a talk of the offseason. I've talked to John and Kyle about it. But look, it's a long season. You guys know this. And we've struggled through the preseason with injuries, been widely obviously documented. But it's a long season. We got a lot of young guys here. They know that we're hosting the Super Bowl in this building. But look, you know, we got to get off to a good start with week one. We got to finish off tonight really strong, get our guys healthy, get ready to kick off in Seattle. We have a tough division. I know everyone's talked about the schedule, but you still got to play the games.
That's right.
And I think that our guys are really raring to go. It's great to see Robert Saleh back on this sideline and all the juice that he brings into it. And I know our fans are really ready to kick off. And so I would just say support us on the road in those first 2 weeks, but then make sure you bring it when the Arizona Cardinals come here for week one.
Yep, you're right. And look, you know, guys left the roster. Deebo Samuel, there's other guys, but Brock Purdy signed to the long-term contract. George Kittle signed to an extension. Fred Warner signed to an extension. Trent Williams is healthy. Fred Warner, I mean, guys on the back end. Renardo Green coming back year 2. Malik Mustafa will be back in the mix. There's still a lot of stars on this football team. Fired up for Ricky Pearsall. I mean, there's still a lot of good players left.
A muff punt by Junior Bergen in his battle to make the 53-man roster, and that one hurts there.
And that's something that he has not done all the training camp. I mean, obviously the 8 returns in college, tremendous job, but the job number 1, catching the football, and that's where it's that knuckler. Look at that thing falling in on him. I haven't seen it. He just got out of position and looked like he lost track of it and just bounced off his chest plate. That's unfortunate.
You didn't bring Morgan Wallen out with Trent Williams the other day. Was that something or what?
I'll tell you what, Barry Bonds and Steve Young the first night, and then Trent Williams and George Kittle the next night. Yeah, you're right. And Tim, you know, on your point, not only did we pay those guys, but those are foundational people, yes, not just players. And I was so happy for Fred and George and Brock. You know, of course they deserve it on the field of play, but I'll tell you, what they do in this community and how much people love them, I can't say enough about the people they are and what they mean in our locker room.
And I got to tell you this, Alan, I know you've heard it, and I talk to a lot of the players, the ones that come, the ones that go, the ones that end up back here. And there's a lot of great, and there's some crown jewels, and there's a lot of great franchises in pro football. Nick Martin just tattooing people again. They almost all say the same thing, whether they've been here or they're just getting here. There is nowhere like this franchise in terms of how the players are treated, how their families are treated, all the things that are offered to these guys, the ability to go be big time in the community. There really is no place like this.
Well, that starts with the York family for sure. And before that, obviously, the DeBartolo family. We talk a lot about what Eddie D did here and seeing Jerry Rice in the building every single night. And we always say, Tim, like, I get to come in here, I stand on the shoulder of giants who came before us, right? That we know our goal is to put another Lombardi trophy in that case, but we got to do it the right way, you know, with the right people. And Jed's really invested in that. Obviously, John and Kyle have invested in that, being in the, part of the Bay Area culture. And you know, you played those guys police themselves, right? Because it means something when you step on that field. There's a standard that this organization has set. There's a standard that those veterans, it's crazy that I call them veterans. They still feel like kids to me, that Nick is a veteran and Fred's a veteran and George is a veteran. It feels like yesterday they were rookies, but they set the standard, and that's really what we want to be about.
Do you want to bring heat here, Al? What do you think? Pressure? Bring a 5th and 6th man?
You know, guy.
3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, here we go. They're showing pressure. See if they come or bail out. They're bailing.
Uiagalelei too high, and it's 4th down. You know, we were looking at earlier to the point that Tim just made. Navarro Bowman here with the Chargers, but Frank Gore saw Frank at practice the other day. Patrick Willis. I know Brent Jones is so excited to be going into the DeBartolo
Boomer
49ers Hall of Fame later this year.
So deserving. As a matter of fact, I was looking up at the stands tonight thinking, how are we going to fit all these numbers of retired guys? Because, you know, seeing Bowman on that sideline, I got my own feelings about where he should be in that conversation. And so, you know, it's been a good run here.
And this current roster stacked with guys like that. Al Guido.
Looking for number 6.
Thank you. The president of the 49ers. It's great to have him stop by. And we've got a good finish ahead. Tie football game here in the preseason finale. We were just talking to the 49ers president, Al Guido. Some of what's been going on here around Levi Stadium. There's Kittle and Trent Williams the night they brought Morgan Wallen out after Steve Young, Barry Bonds did it before. 29 days away from the 49ers home opener against the Arizona Cardinals here. That's week 3. Super Bowl 60 coming up 10 years after the 49ers hosted Super Bowl 50, and then the FIFA World Cup group stage in round of 32. And that's part of it. Interesting, Tim, what you're talking about, how the area around the field has been modified a little bit to accommodate the FIFA World Cup.
And I think it's everything. You talk about Super Bowl 10 years ago, the entire Bay Area is, like a lot of areas, have been modified. It's going to be quite a treat for hopefully the 49ers, but for all the fans and the 2 teams that do end up here for Super Bowl 60.
George Kittle still locked in here. 10:27 to go. 16-16, helping Jalen Allen get his pads right after the Cameron Dicker field goal to tie the game. Junior Bergen.
Two new dads right there, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
Tanner Mordecai, play action. Malik Turner across midfield. He's been a first down machine tonight.
He certainly has. And I love this for Tanner Mordecai. It's play action. It's gonna, I mean, everything's good. Now watch him set his feet and just rip it into the middle of the field, right on to number 7. Now, this is the best Mordecai has played, I think, when you look at it, the whole body of work here, since he's had to play most of this because of the injury to Bradley.
Keyshawn Vaughn gets 2 yards. And looks like
Isaiah Prince down.
Isaiah Prince. Second down coming up for the 49ers, and we'll step aside. After this injury,
and you'll see him right in this area. You'll see that left leg just stretch out. You saw it get, hopefully that looked like those cleats weren't sticking in the ground and got a little bit of slide out of it. Hopefully he's going to be, no doubt. Every bit of 6'7" with those long legs. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
He's in the blue tent, and Keyshawn Vaughn sprints forward on second down to pick up a first. Pick up of 11 yards for Vaughn.
Straight downhill, getting some good blocks. Tonjes Alarcon getting some nice wipeout blocks, getting everybody down the line of scrimmage, and Keyshawn Vaughn just north and south. That's best for a running back up and inside when you're running inside.
Austin Pleasance, who started the game at right tackle, hasn't played in a while, is back in there after the injury. And here's Vaughn falling forward for 4 yards and 3 yards.
It's a nice kick out block. You got Dunn in there at right guard. He just got a uniform 2 days ago. I think he just got here. That's hard now. When you talk about, you know, the synchronicity of offense and 11 guys working together and just players in and out of the lineup that just got here. What a challenge.
Second down at 7. Mordecai in the face of pressure delivers to the tight end Willis, and this will be very near a first down.
We're going to get the Sony Hawkeye out.
We haven't had it yet tonight, which means you haven't had a chance to guess how close it is. It is close. It is inches.
Boy, yeah.
I guess in the third preseason game, there's Mordecai trying to sneak it. Did he get there?
No, he's going to be short.
Now it's fourth down. Oh. Carter Bradley, the Niners' other quarterback, already limping around tonight. And Tim, you made the point earlier, keep Bradley out of sneaks, and now Mordecai gets into a sneak, and something happens to him.
And needs the length of the football to keep this drive alive in the red zone. He's 6 inches from the red zone and 8 inches from a first down.
Play clock. Oh, they just reset the play clock. All right. Now he's got the play. Now the helmet communication's working, or it's not. Nope. Here's Carter Bradley. Here we go. Fourth down and inches. Limping to that handoff to Vaughn. That is.
Yeah, he can't move.
Wow. On 4th and inches, the 49ers, 3rd and inches, get stuffed. Mordecai comes up limping and then turn it over on downs. Stop by the newly renovated 49ers team store at Levi's Stadium or shop online at 49ers.com.
You know E40's been over there more than once.
Yeah, look at that 75th anniversary jersey he's wearing.
Seen Cedric the Entertainer over. I've seen them all over there. There's nothing like that store when you're looking for swag and for gear.
They just put E40 on the big video boards here in the stadium, and the crowd loved it. So after the 49ers kind of haphazardly turn it over on downs, the Chargers take over. Who's still running very hard tonight. He's been running hard all night. Is Raheem Sanders, the rookie from South Carolina, trying to make this Chargers team.
Got another injury out there for the Chargers. Well, you feel awful for all these guys that we hate to see anybody get hurt in any game, but at the end of the preseason, 6.5 minutes to go, and these guys have been grinding through everything and working their way through and you know, getting back on the field, and to have something happen, it's unfortunate because this is a hazardous game. It's all part of it.
It's Branson Taylor, the right tackle. Look for him on this replay here, the rookie out of Pitt.
And that rookie out of Pitt hasn't stopped since before his final year in college. Well, that was weird. As he was taking Hector down, it looked like something happened to him.
Jim Harbaugh over. Of course, the offensive line news started poorly early for the Chargers when their star offensive lineman Rashawn Slater hurt his knee.
Yeah, and just paid him too. He just got a big deal, a very good left tackle. So they'll move Joe Alt over to the left tackle, and Pipkins, who was their swing, will slide in at right tackle. They went and got Mekhi Becton. I'm telling you, and I know Harbaugh as well as anybody, and played with him in the NFL in Chicago, and worked here when he was coaching and had some great years. You know what he wants to do. He wants to get in heavy sets and pound the football at you and run it. Thus, Najee Harris coming over in free agency, Omarion Hampton, their first rounder out of North Carolina, and then manage risk for the quarterback. And they have upgraded weapons for Herbert. So it all starts and stops for Harbaugh teams at the line of scrimmage and being able to get people blocked.
2nd down and 5. Uiagalelei going through the progression and throws it right to Curtis Robinson. Robinson all the way back for a 49ers touchdown.
I am so happy for Curtis Robinson. You know, Guy, I am a firm believer that good things happen to good people. And C-Rob, with what he's been through and the ACL tear last year, just before he was going to get an opportunity, is on the receiving end of a gift. Here he is. You're going to see him just slide right out to his spot. Eyes on the quarterback. I mean, I don't know what DJU was looking at. That in cut right behind C-Rob. He's in perfect position at his landmark. I think maybe getting bumped a little bit, but that was an ill-advised throw right to 59, who punches it in for the pick six.
September 27th of last year, he tore his ACL in practice. What a road back for him. He's made some big plays on special teams.
And well-liked and well-respected around here for just him. He's just been a grinder.
Well, he was the 49ers nominee for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award last year, which tells you something to be nominated for that award in a year you're not even playing.
Yeah, and this is his 5th year. He's bounced around. He's a Stanford guy. He's from, you know, the area. He's bounced around practice squad, on and off practice squad, and boy, he is right in the mix to get that 6th linebacker spot. And hopefully that's going to help him do it.
Now Moody for the extra point, and it is good. Imagine what his last 11 months have been like. As Tim said, just before he's about to get the opportunity to start, he tears his ACL in a Thursday practice.
Yeah, in a pre-practice drill for special teams on air. It was just buzzard's luck for him. And he's in a good spot mentally. I try to have conversations. He is serious about his craft now and getting better. And I'll tell you what, if you look at that 6'3", 235, if you look up linebacker in the dictionary and there's pictures, he's going to look like Curtis Robinson.
Oh, you could just feel it emanating off of him. Had a big special teams tackle here last week against
look at Johnny Holland, his coach, who coached him how to hit. Go right to that landmark.
Yeah.
Johnny, I know Johnny's like, remember I told you go right to that little hook right there. It's going to be there for you. He threw it right to him.
He's had plenty of time to catch his breath too. He's saying thumbs up, I'm ready to go back out. So the 49ers now take the lead here, 6:06 to go. And
boy.
Nick Martin on special teams. He has turned up the hit stick tonight.
The hit stick with a lot of juice. Oh my goodness. Flying around on defense, making plays on special teams. First you got to defeat the block right in front of you. Boy, he can close the gap in a heartbeat. His returner's like, boy, how did he get on me that fast?
7th tackle. This is a big deal for him to be able to contribute on
no
special
question,
teams.
no question, because he's not, as it looks right now, and we'll see as the season goes on how much he really develops in terms of what he's looking at. He is still just playing on skills, and it's showing up. His best pathway and his biggest contributions early in the year is probably going to be on special teams.
Naheem Miller-Hines chased down. Is that Curtis Robinson again? No, it's Gibson. Excuse
that's Travis
me.
Gibson.
I'm reading 56 and 59 upside down. Gibson with his own celebration.
Boy, what a play by him. Just trying the old crack toss. They're going to try to crack him. He's like, nope, I'm going to cross the face on Tucker Fisk and chase this thing down from the inside out. I got to appreciate the way these guys are battling, right?
There are precious few roster spots left. Roster's cut down to 53. 1 o'clock Pacific time on Tuesday. Uyunglele. Pressure from both sides. And Still's able to get it away, but it's broken up. Siran Neal.
I mean, you talk about the competitive spirit of battling for roster spots. Robert Beal, Travis Gibson, both probably battling for one of those last defensive end spots. Look at both of these guys turning it up. Trying to have a Saturday evening meeting at the quarterback.
And now it's 3rd down and 12. With Saran Wrap on the back end.
Saran Wrap. I've used that before, not on air though. That was good.
Oh, was that
was good.
Inadvertently stolen?
No.
Play clock low. Uyunglele gets it away. Oh, pressure from Valdez, who trucks him, and that gets thrown incomplete.
There's another guy battling. I love this, and here he is, 55, working a twist, a 3-man twist on the inside, wraps it tight, and I love the fact that it was a legal hit. Didn't put his helmet right through the chest of the guy, turned his head to the side, did it all how you're supposed to do it, by the book. Boy, he's worked his tail off since he got here as a free agent. Fired up for him.
Junior Bergen has not had many opportunities to punt return. He muffed one earlier and lost it. And now flags. Junior's going to take a practice catch.
False start. Number 54, offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
You know, Junior Bergen is just dying to make a play here. 8 punt returns for touchdowns in his college career, an FCS record at Montana.
Watch the sideline.
So J.K. Scott now from his end zone.
Well, you'd love if they get some good blocking. They're double vicing both gunners, so Brant Boyer's counting on these guys getting some blocking for Junior.
That ball is hanging on the moon, and Bergen fair catches it at the 42. That was way up. J.K. Scott has got a leg.
Yeah, they're in pretty good shape with their kicking department, that's for sure.
46 yards on that boot, but now the 49ers with 5 minutes and 2 limping quarterbacks. We'll see. It's Bradley back out. Mordecai was gimpy on the last drive. Bradley gimpy on the opening drive of the day. They've gone back and forth tonight, the only 2 quarterbacks in uniform. And now the 49ers trying to execute a little 5-minute offense.
Yeah, let's see him take the air out of the ball and just salt this thing away.
Keyshawn Vaughn for a yard. "49 days." We mentioned a couple of times before, the Cardinals are here for the season opener. The 49ers last year went 1-5 in the division. 4 of those losses by 1 score. Those 4 losses by a combined 13 points. And 2 of their first 3 games are in the NFC West to open it up this year.
And that's why I've talked a lot about special teams this preseason. You think of the Ram game early in the year, and that was a special teams victory for them. And then the Arizona game here, the first one, before the one at the end of the season when a lot of guys didn't play because of injury, and Arizona was able to trounced the 49ers pretty good in that game. But remember, I think it was the Arizona game, Moody got hurt on the kickoff and had that lower leg injury, and it was just a comedy of errors. And it's a big reason why Brant Boyer is here now coaching up these special teams.
Tariq Owens is in the game. We saw Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice, on the other side for the Chargers. And there is Tariq, who had his first preseason catch last week for the 49ers, trying to set up the screen on 3rd down to Vaughn.
Boy, just a little bit of hesitation. He was thinking about going back inside. If he just drop steps to the outside and chews up that grass, he's got an opportunity for a few more yards.
And Jim Harbaugh takes a timeout. 3:32 remaining.
First charge timeout of the half. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Thank you.
So 2 left for the Chargers, knowing they got to get a touchdown. Came down to the wire last week. Now in 2 weeks, you know, the hope, we mentioned Mykel Williams, all looking forward to seeing him. CJ West, we'll see the other rookie, highly drafted defensive line along with Alfred Collins. Both Williams and West with those hyperextended knees early, but you know, their roster spots are safe. There's some other guys here these next few days. It'll be interesting, and again, we mentioned earlier, but just because you have the 53, then there's more cuts, then there's more options.
Yeah, and something tells me you got, you know, a lot of new and young players. The bottom end of the roster could be getting manipulated really a good portion of the season. Is just the way they do it.
Luke Grimm off his face, another muff, the ball's still loose, and the 49ers recover it. Chad Surratt.
Rolling on the field as the kick was muffed by the receiving team. Recovered by the kicking team.
That was another right in the grill
First
shot
down,
right
San
there.
Francisco.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you hate to make excuses, but
No,
we've seen
that's
3 muffs
unacceptable.
tonight.
Yeah, that's
But from both teams, we've seen 3 muffs. You just wonder
Right.
if the wind has been.
Yeah, that's a good point. Misjudging it while it's up in the air. That's certainly what happened to Junior Bergen. So one got away from him, and then the 2 right in the face mask. You probably just misjudged it because of the wind.
I don't think that flies in the special teams meeting.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm trying. Harbaugh's going to take another timeout here at 3:15. 49ers just trying to keep this in field goal range now.
Los
Tough
Angeles.
night for
That is their
the
second
rookie
charge
Luke Grimm
timeout of the
from
half.
Kansas.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3
And
minutes,
think about this now for
17 seconds.
the LA Chargers. They'll be getting ready for a trip to
Thank you.
Brazil, right? They open up down in Brazil.
I got Keenan Allen back a couple of weeks ago. He was out there available.
Keenan Allen still got juice. I can tell you that. He's still got a little shake to him in his route running. Cal product, year 13.
Year with the Bears and now back with the Chargers. They're going to throw. Bradley.
He's got T.O.
Tariq Owens scores! Owens! The first touchdown of his professional career. In the uniform is where his dad caught so many.
Happy for him. He has not stopped working. He was here last year on the practice squad. He's been grinding all summer. He comes out of a tight alignment. He's just going to run the over route. And he's open, and Bradley rolling out to his right, sees it, puts it right on him. 6 points. There's still some time left. We'll see what Brendan Rice does, but maybe it's bragging rights for who knows how long.
Owens. He caught it. And Moody the point after. That's cool. He's been working so hard.
He has.
Remember, he was part of an open tryout, not this past 2024.
Right.
Here on this field. Local tryout. A number of players, like a local pro day. And T.O. was here that day. And, you know, he's got a big smile here to see.
Yeah,
his
and
son
you know
with
what?
the touchdown.
He's not here because he's T.O.'s son. He's here because he's earned the right and he works his tail off. Period.
have all the highlights, all the moments of Dad. 81 touchdowns as a Niner for Terrell, the Hall of Famer. I know it's a preseason touchdown, but it's a touchdown.
That's right.
And a lot of hard work rewarded there for Tariq. And Clay Kubiak saying enough of this running. Calling the plays tonight. And good coverage from Isaiah Hodgins on Naheem Miller-Hines. But Nick Martin came.
And Nick's trying to get any type of action. He wants more.
Thomas Morstead, John Weeks, the punter and long snapper. There's Hodgins. Like Nick Martin got turned up after he went limping off the field.
Well, you can see and Robert Saleh knows this. Robert Saleh, you talk about linebacker coaches. That's where Robert cut his teeth in pro football, and he and Johnny Holland do a great job with those guys. When you match up that foot speed and those skill sets to go with aptitude in terms of what he's looking at and understanding pro football and what teams are trying to do to him, the sky will be the limit for Nick Martin.
Jalen Graham racing to go push Uyunglele out of bounds, but a first down scramble.
Because there's a lot to it, Guy. It's not just on line up and play and go get the football. I mean, there is a lot to it in terms of the responsibilities and the technique and where you're supposed to be and then where you end up and what they're trying. And it's just hard for young players and Robert knows this. I don't care. And the D-line's probably the easiest in terms of the back seven because D-line, and there's still a lot to that, but these linebackers and defensive backs, you better have a PhD in football. It is not easy.
That is thrown and caught for a first down. It was interesting hearing Tatum Bethune this week talking about the major difference between year one and year two, the linebacker. And a big part of that, he gave credit to Fred Warner for teaching him so much about the game. He said he went up to Fred and said, I want to do it like you. Here's Uyunglele. And there's Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice. And Fred said, get your nutrition and your hydration right and then come back and talk to me. So Tatum cut out the Swedish fish, his guilty pleasure, got himself in great shape, and
Tatum Bethune's going to make it. You know what I love about Fred Warner and just how Fred's mentality is.
Flag comes in. Saran Neal there in coverage on Luke Green.
And they're probably going to get some type of a foul over there. And Fred has said this many times, but the way he works and what he does is you can't step in.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The pass was deemed uncatchable.
You cannot skip steps. And Fred says, I will not skip steps. He does the same thing, preparation every day in, day out. You talk about the nutrition and the hydration and taking care of your body. He said, I'm not a finished product, and I never will be. Think about that. And that's the mindset of Fred Warner. I'm not a finished product, and I never will be. Kind of says it all.
There is no mountaintop. That's pretty incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, it explains why he seems to get better, even through some injury last year, and still played at such a high level.
And I remember his rookie year at Arizona, it was like, but as the game is slowed down and he plays without thought and plays with anticipation and, has that educated guess down in and down out based on all the indicators. What's the down and distance? What's the formation? Who's in the game personnel wise? He's so studied up, and there's D. Winters, his teammate right next to him. He's going to be huge, I think, in replacing Dre Greenlaw. Both of those guys playing off each other, but if Fred can play without thought and have all those indicators and get a hint of what's coming and share it with his other guys, this defense is going to fly around.
It does seem like D. Winters has taken a step this year.
No question.
Year 3.
The light is going on for him.
4 seconds before the 2-minute warning. DJ Uyunglele thought the play clock should have been reset, but it's a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
.22 combined penalties, 11 apiece tonight.
been fun watching these guys battle for sure, and with roster spots on the line. And there'll be guys that are cut that end up on other teams. There'll be guys that are cut that won't play football anymore. There'll be guys that are cut that are brought back on the practice squad. But I really appreciate the competitive spirit across the board on both sides of the ball.
Uyunglele, miscommunication there with
yeah, they're going to get
another flag on Neal. Oh.
Pass interference, number 33, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Sorry, Neal's hot.
I'll tell you what, he is put together now from top to bottom. And he can play corner, but he is here to be a specialist on special teams.
Over 2,000 special team snaps. He's missed 2 games in 7 years.
No, he is great at it.
Last year in Miami, 6 years in Buffalo. Available. You know he can scrap too. One of 8 kids. He has 7 brothers. Or he is one of 7 brothers. This is Brendan Rice, and he cannot match Tariq Owens. And we hit the 2-minute warning.
And it looked like he had a step, at least a step on Chase Lucas. That ball just outside. He couldn't go get it.
So 49ers with a 24-point burst here in this second half to lead the Chargers 30-16. Nick Martin's been flying around. The 49ers trying to put the finishing touches on back-to-back wins to close out the preseason. Second down and 10 here for the Chargers, under 2 minutes. And Nick Martin breaks that up. It was bouncing off the hands of the intended receiver. Is that Thomas Yasmin?
It is.
Another tight end.
Look at Nick Hardy knows. He's man coverage. He's got this swing going out there. Just get out there, and he is closing the distance. And Yasmin had, I mean, probably could have pulled that in and would have been for a minimal gain. But I'm telling you, the speed kills, and Nick Martin has got it.
Third down and 10. Play clock at 2. And there's Luke Grimm. Did not go down and is able to get very close to the line of the game, just shy. But after that initial hit, he kept his feet.
Well, yeah, Jacob Robinson went down low on him, thought he was going to knife through those legs and chop him down. And you're right, he never did go down.
And the Chargers able to pick up the first with Raheem Sanders. First down and 10. End zone shot too high.
Yeah, that was a throwaway. Luke Grimm was just covered up by Mahoney, who had the big interception to give him the opportunity against the Raiders last week. Another guy that's just gotten better, just been here grinding. Got here last year as an undrafted free agent out of Vanderbilt. Was released already once this year during training camp. I mean, the thick skin and the mental toughness these guys have to have is, people always talk about the physicality of the game. The strain emotionally and mentally, guy is, it's unbelievable.
Second down, back to Grimm, and he's got it for the touchdown. So Grimm, who's muffed 2 punts today, responds with the touchdown catch, and the Chargers pull within 8 with a minute left. Well, just to the point on the mental toughness, so Tanner Mordecai, who did not have a great first preseason game and then was not on the team last week in the preseason, been released and signed twice by this team, 10 of 13 tonight, with a touchdown pass.
Yeah. and responded. And that's what you want to, I mean, look, guys are going to go ups and downs, especially guys that are undrafted and trying to make their way in this league. But you just want to see guys continue to handle the adversity and develop. Not make the same mistakes over again. Make some plays at crunch time. And you cannot mimic game action no matter how hard you practice.
Well, something you don't get to practice a lot is the onside kick. Well, the Chargers, you would expect, set one up here.
Well, Boyer be calling out the hands team. I'd be shocked if Jim Harbaugh didn't try to onside it here. Down a score. 1:01 to go. But great situational opportunities for the coaches on both sides. For them to work their onside and for Brant Boyer to get the hands unit out there. With so many guys without uniform today, this will not be the real hands unit. There's probably one or two guys that don't have hands that'll be out there. It'll be like, Ryan, you're out there, get out there.
What is Ryan doing out there?
Let the ball go by you and block.
So Sky Moore and Junior Bergen on that third level. Tariq Owens and Malik Turner on the second level for the 49ers. Cameron Dicker's going to put it down. There's no more surprise onside kick, of course.
See what kind of magic Dicker's got with this onside. A lot of it is how good these guys are at getting the English on those kicks or getting the right kind of bounce.
Isaiah Hodgins is right in the line, preparing himself. Tonjes in there.
Just had to pick his mouthpiece up off the grass.
Derek Canteen right in the middle. This is right at Tonjes, and he softly takes it to the turf.
I think Tonjes has made this football team this year. I really do, and it's not just that. Obviously, I mean, he has done a lot of good things on offense. Been here since last year. He's a local kid from Los Gatos High School. Went to Cal. Was doing good in Chicago early in his career until he got hurt. Came here, and I'm going to tell you, he has no problem getting open. He's got a lot of foot speed. He's had to show that he can block this year. He's been able to do that in the preseason, clearing the way on some of those isolation runs up inside. Great opportunity for Tonjes to get him a game day uniform here with the 49ers.
Well, and they were both available quarterbacks. They're going to limp towards the locker room. The 49ers with some great plays on special teams, on defense. A pick six from Curtis Robinson. And they're going to beat the Chargers and then turn the page. So I'm sure a lot of the you know, Robert Saleh said it this week. Yeah, we start thinking about Seattle, but we owe it to the guys fighting for roster spots.
Absolutely.
To get them ready for this game against the Chargers as well. But the Seahawks are up next. 2 weeks from tomorrow in Seattle. The regular season will begin. Big hug for Tariq Owens, who's taking a football home with him tonight after his first professional touchdown. And the two coaches that sit third and fourth on the 49ers playoff wins list shake hands. And the preseason done for so many of the rookies like Nick Martin. Drake Nugent catching up with his old coach. And the 49ers beat the Chargers here in the final preseason game, 30-23. Back with more from Levi's after this.